Hey, it's the Bennington Show on a Tuesday. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
I'm Ron Bennington. Look at Jen Bennington.
Oh, there she is.
Dishing it around today. I like Dish lately when we've been adding the big surprise celebrity comedian that drops in.
Yeah, I love the guest dish.
Although, is it ever going to be any better than Dish? Dish.
Dish it.
Time to dish.
Come on, dish it, you bitch.
He was so funny, too, because he knew to get out fun of high. Like, he just came in, crushed the room, and ran out. Left us all exhausted here. But we got a good one for tomorrow. Hey, this is the Bennington Show. We started off with a little something from Magnolia, which, do you realize how many years ago Magnolia is?
I know, that's 99, I think.
99. And Paul Thomas Anderson has another big movie coming out this year that I can't wait for. But I have to say this. When you start talking movies, you want to have Doug Benson in here. So a little
That's
later
true.
on, Doug Benson of Doug Loves Movies fame. And for you people in Los Angeles, California, home of the Doors, 12 Days of Christmas is coming to Los Angeles. So Doug's going to be in here in about an hour or so. And we got more people coming in today because it's that kind of a show. You know what I mean? It's just... You know, the Christmas lights are already up in New York. There's already that story on the iBang where everyone's furious with the old people who put 30,000 lights on their home.
Yes.
Now, if you... go ahead and hit play, because I don't think I've ever seen the video itself going. It's just a ridiculous amount of lights. And it brings people in from, I think, 17 different states come into a residential neighborhood.
Yeah, this looks like a theme park. This doesn't look like a house.
And you can just see, like, that's just a regular neighborhood. Let's hear Gina Mary.
And we like to decorate for Christmas.
But why be a nut, dude?
You don't have to be a
17 years
psychopath.
ago, we purchased this house. We had about 6 or 7 pieces, and then a couple years later, we were getting more people, more things.
God.
So we decided we'd raise the roof and
Raise
put a
the
front
roof. We
porch
thought we'd
on
raise the
so we
roof.
can
And his neighbors
decorate
hate him.
and make people happy.
Let's stop it for a sec. See, here's the deal. Yeah, okay. You know, you love Christmas. But now we have traffic jams in our little neighborhood.
Yeah, it's not even about the brightness. It's just like the amount of people who showed up for that.
Right. And those people are expecting it. Like, you have those people and they're just like, is that it? You know, like, you're not going to satisfy these
No.
people. And guess what? This isn't Six Flags, all right? This is goddamn Falling Tree, New Jersey, or wherever the hell
This
they
is just somebody's crazy pappy who decided to...
I think that you can overdo the lights. Some people disagree and they call you Scrooge when
Well-
you go in that direction.
In my neighborhood, I have noticed that I think Christmas lights are truly competitive because one block will put up lights, like somebody on that block, and then you'll see the rest of the block do it. And then there are certain blocks that I think are way over the top Christmas. Some that are like, they have a wreath. And I think like, it's just like when you see the guy next to you
If
goes
you're-
all out, you feel like, well, we can't have nothing.
Particularly, I have to say this, the amount of Italians that you have in your neighborhood.
Yes.
Italians have, and I'm talking about Italian American, they will get a swimming pool if their neighbor gets a swimming pool.
Yes.
That's how they end up getting things. That the reason why Cadillacs got big because one Italian got a Cadillac, and then all the other Italians go, "Oh, he thinks he's a big shot. I'm going to get a Cadillac. How's that?" And I'll drive my Cadillac past his house, and that's what happens with these. And you can see that these people who, I guess, they're not flashy anywhere else in their life, and this is their attention. These two little old folks.
And they just put, I mean, I can't even imagine the amount of time it takes this old man
What
to put
else is he
this
going to
on.
do? You know what I mean? He's going to do
He's
this
retired.
or bring up the war. Hey, Jim, what's up, buddy?
Hi. Whoa. Last night I went to see this movie called Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yes. I've seen it too.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, I saw, you know how I've been bitching about movies for a long time. I saw 2 movies back to back. This, 3 Billboards, and then Lady Bird, and I both were like, okay, I remember why I like movies now. You know?
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about this. Wow, it was so good.
It was.
Sam Rockwell was amazing.
I want to see it this
Sam
weekend.
Rockwell, you will forget that you love Sam Rockwell and start to hate Sam Rockwell. Frances McDormand also plays not a very nice person, and yet you're with her. Woody Harrelson is kind of heartbreaking. And these are like 3 great character actors, and we say character actors because it means that they can act like characters instead of just be themselves pretty. But it's good.
I don't know the name of the actor that took Woody Harrelson's place as the sheriff, the black guy, but he was terrific also.
He is from The Wire. He was the guy who was like the smart guy on The Wire, Chris. You know what I'm talking about?
The cop?
Yes, the cop.
Yeah, I know that guy. I don't know that actor's name, though, but I know you're talking
We'll look it up because, you know, The Wire is your favorite show of all time. And he just comes into this kind of redneck town. And, you know, he doesn't have to do a lot. And he's great. I wouldn't have even thought about it.
Clark Peters.
Also, the kid who was in Manchester by the Sea last year. I'm trying to think of his name.
He's fantastic.
Lucas Hedges?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's so good.
Yeah, man. He was in both of these movies back
I saw
to back.
him in Lady Bird, and he's great. And I can't wait to see 3 Billboards because I couldn't believe how different Lucas is acting. His character was so different than Manchester.
Well,
I was shocked.
He's a kid, right? And he's been in like, I don't know, 4 or 5 classic movies already. Like literally movies, even if they're smaller parts.
Yeah.
But you know how hard it is to be in a classic movie? It's I mean, a lot of big stars have, like if you look at Bruce Willis, he might have been he's done like 60 movies. 4 or 5 of them, you go, oh, that's a classic film. Even plenty of Oscar winners, you get past 5 and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
You know? Okay.
And then the actress in Lady Bird, who I don't know how to say her name, but I couldn't believe she's from Brooklyn, the Brooklyn movie.
Dude, I didn't even know that until 15 minutes left in the movie. When I said to my chick, I go, this chick's great. She's like, you mean the girl from Brooklyn? Then I'm like this. What?
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse is how you say it?
Saoirse.
Where is she from? Is she from Ireland or Sacramento, California? Because one of them she has to be from.
I think she's from Ireland. I think she actually is Irish.
She is from Ireland.
How can a kid from Ireland play that role? And why would anyone have even thought to say, okay, I'm going to give you the job?
Actually, her parents are Irish, but she was born in the Bronx.
Okay.
Okay, so
she's
maybe that's why
faking-
she could do the
But,
accent better.
By the way, if you're from the Bronx, you shouldn't be able to play Sacramento or Ireland.
right.
You should just be able to play Bronx.
Hey.
Hey, look over here. You know? Here's Richie in the Bronx. Richie.
So I moved into the Christmas neighborhood. When I bought my house, there was a separate fuse panel tied into about 7 timers to 50 outlets all around the outside of my house.
Oh.
And now it's a big competitive thing because all these old Italian people that live on my block, they got all this crazy shit. My wife is cheap. She won't let me buy nothing. I bought a bunch of inflatable things around the yard. All the old people make fun of me because now they say I'm lazy.
This is the problem with Italian neighborhoods. They really, everything gets amped up bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's no winner. It's like a nuclear war. You know what I mean? There's just more and more.
I literally have a separate fuse panel in the house, not a separate 200 amp service with timers and switches all over the outside of the house for this.
Well, that's because of the last guy who lived there?
Yeah, and he left. He took all of his shit with him, so I got nothing. I bought a bunch of inflatable things. It takes me half a day to set everything up. It takes my neighbors 2.5 weeks. They all laugh at me.
Yeah, you're going to have to move, Richie. It's all I can tell you.
This is embarrassment.
But every neighborhood has that one person who goes crazy. And my dad would always be like this. Look at the idiots. He never would fall for it. You know, my mom would put like a couple candles up.
Right.
You know?
Now, who's a worse neighbor? The neighbor who puts the Christmas decorations up way too early, like you're seeing Christmas decorations in October, or the neighbor who leaves the Halloween decorations through December? Because I have both of those in my neighborhood.
Yeah, they're both worse. I guess I hate to see anything up after the fact.
Yeah.
After is worse.
Because I have neighbors that still have like skeletons and pumpkins up next to a house that's in full Christmas right now.
Somebody always have like an imploded pumpkin just sitting there at the top of their steps.
So gross.
It is gross. Richie, I feel for you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Yes.
One more thing. Can I squeeze in one more thing?
Yeah.
I have an Old Navy mannequin that I got at a thrift shop in Brooklyn, and I put that out as my Halloween decoration, and I redress it for Thanksgiving and redress it for Christmas.
That's hilarious.
Awesome.
And my wife thinks, oh my God, the neighbors, this thing doesn't have pants. We have this little boy in the yard. He doesn't have pants. And everyone, oh my God, what are the neighbors going to think? But I think it's hysterical. And I just want you guys to know that I love you and I love my mannequin.
Richie, I'm going to send you in a pretty good prize closet. All right? You deserve it.
Oh, thanks.
You deserve it. Elizabeth in Seattle.
Hi. I just want to remind you guys that girl, I can't pronounce her name either, she was in Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel as well. That was the first movie I saw her in.
She was the lead?
Oh my God, she was with, remember the girl with the port wine
with
stain?
The
Oh my God, you're right.
I'm a Wes Anderson junkie, but I also wanted to say, Ronnie, I'm the girl that got married on your show in 2010.
I do remember you.
Yeah, so just so you know, we divorced. So
I figured.
We waited till we moved to the West Coast and then divorced. But I'm out in Seattle now, just with arm tattoos and smoking legal weed and loving life. And I haven't listened to you guys in a while, but I'm back. And I'm happy to be here.
Now so he left you. You're restarting your life in a whole new place.
No, we moved out together, and about 2 years into it, we're like, Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I tell the story about us getting married, and a lot of folks on the West Coast, because you guys, being in New York, and a lot of folks out here aren't familiar. I try to describe who O and A were and who Ron and Fez were, and a lot of folks out here, because the time change, it's still hard for me to it's 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm just starting my day, and I know it's still weird with.
Oh, you blew up, baby. Yeah, your phone's blowing up. But I appreciate you calling. All right, I'm glad you're doing well.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.
Steve in Alabama.
Hey guys, we got a neighborhood, or we have a house in our neighborhood who does the timed light show, and it's like this huge yard, and it goes to music, and you sit there and watch it. And I mean, it's impressive, and it took a lot of planning and probably computer-programmed strands of light, and just light it up. And that, to me, that's better than just kind of a professional, it's almost like almost like a cold,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And a lot of people will have somebody come in and just do the whole thing up for them. And how is that having Christmas spirit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you, a hotel now?
And it's supposed to be isn't that part of the whole thing, is putting the
Not for me. Nothing is part of the thing for me. Matter of fact, I'm going out of my way to make sure I'm not going to let Christmas annoy me or
you're just gonna
bum me.
Try to enjoy
I'm gonna fake it. I'm gonna fake it until I break it. We're going to announce an unmasked in a couple minutes, but I can't seem to connect with everybody today. Hopefully, we'll be ready to do this in a couple minutes because it's for next week. So be up and be ready for it. All right, we are ready to do it. All right, so the unmasked, Vito, do you have it in front of you? What day is it? You don't have it in front of you, that's okay. Does anybody?
I have it in front of me.
All right, good.
All right.
What's
the
the
next
day?
Unmasked is happening next Thursday, December 7th at 12:30 p.m. at the SiriusXM studios. You can go to theinterrobang.com for a chance at tickets for the next Unmasked.
JB Smooth.
Yeah! Ow!
I'm going to put this up here. I think this is going to be Tracy Morgan fun.
I think it's going to be really, really fun.
Because JB did our show once, and I don't really know the difference between him when he's off stage and him when he's on stage. I don't know how much acting he does on Curb, because he seems to talk that way quite a bit.
I hope that's true, because if so, then I'm really going to
we're in for a fun day.
Yeah.
No matter what happens. And I don't know how you say you're unmasking someone when they don't seem to wear a mask. It's like if Batman just went out with the full suit but no cowl, as they call it. I've always hated that name.
The cowl?
Mm-hmm. Can't stand that name. It annoys me. Like Batman didn't have his cowl on. I'm like, that's dumb. No superhero should worry about such a thing. Does this make my ears look too big? Seriously. Rachel. Vito, did you see Justice League?
No, I did. I'm not a big DC movie fan.
I asked you that before, and you told me. You make a point that you're Marvel only.
I'm Marvel only. The DC movies are just like, they're always very like, even Marvel is CGI heavy, but like DC movies are all set in like space and shit. So the whole movie's just a green screen fest.
Yeah, I don't see the difference between them both. Marvel said, and this is up on the iBang, an article today, their next 20 movies are going to be totally different. Good. They have 20 movies lined up, and they say they have 7,000 superhero characters.
Oh, my God.
I didn't even know that there was that many. If somebody said, how many superheroes are there? I go, 15? So the next 20 movies is going to be different, because they're going to be about like kind of nerdy, weak guys who something happens to, and then they get superpowers and get real badass, awesome, and cool.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Then the Marvel said this is going to explode your nuts. How do you do it, Vito? How do you make out?
Not yet.
Sounds like somebody sucking the D again, Chris Stanley. He's a D-sipper. He takes the cocks and the balls. I don't know whether you guys have been listening to the new Eagles channel on SiriusXM.
I haven't heard it yet.
It's fucking great.
Yeah?
Yeah. There is nothing better than Don Henley hosting a show. He is such a serious man. He's an incredibly serious, level man. And I did road tripping for Thanksgiving, and I listened to a lot of and then I'm like, oh, we should replay the Canyon GPS, the LA 70s GPS, because Henley's playing a lot of that. Like, this is our friend who's a great singer-songwriter, Jackson Brown.
How intense.
Yeah, he's intense, man. He is fucking intense. But I think it's really sweet they got Glenn Fry's kid filling in, and that's adorable. And then for some reason, Vince Gill, who, was a big Eagles fan, and now he gets to be in the Eagles. That's crazy, right? This is if somebody said to me, oh, by the way, dude, you want to be in the Doors? I'd be like, fuck yeah. Bop, ba-doo, ba-dee, beep, ba-boop, ba-bop. So, yeah, check out because I don't think this is a permanent like the Beatles. I think this is, well, I don't know whether we call them pop-ups or what we call them. We've got so many, it used to be a rare thing that we would have one artist having. Now it's Pearl Jam, it's Buffett, it's the Beatles channel, of course, Bruce Springsteen.
Tom Petty, right?
Tom Petty, they still have that channel, and it's fucking, out of all of them, I think that's the one that has like the most original programming. Tom has left behind a lot of programming. I think Elvis has his own channel, and just like after a while, you're just like, are they just going to edge everything out? Every artist will just have their own channel. I think Billy Joel has a pop up too. I'm not sure if it's staying.
He does. It's a pop up as for right now.
Crazy, man. Crazy amounts of music on Sirius XM.
They should just have a channel where they mix all of the ones that have their own channel.
That would be a rock channel. That would be called classic. That's deep tracks. By the way, our GPS, and Connor's been on this, Australian pub music. And I'm like, Connor, is there enough Australian pub music? And then we were going over the songs yesterday. Yeah, there is. And it's fucking awesome.
I know. This is going to be like a big rock one.
Yeah, it's going to be rocking hard.
It's great to have like another big hard rock one.
Well, this one sounds like a fist fight.
Yeah.
This GPS sounds exactly like a fist fight.
And to be honest, when he came forward with it, you were like, is there enough? I was like, is there any? I didn't even, I was not really that aware. Like, I knew there were, good Australian rock bands.
Yeah.
But you string them together, I was like, oh, man, this is like a really great track list.
I was stunned that you and Chris did not know Midnight Oil.
Yeah.
Because that was a giant hit. I guess an 80s hit, though. But you always think when something is an MTV hit, it means eventually everybody will know it, you know? INXS has always been one of your favorite bands, right?
I love INXS.
Me too, man. I always dug that band. To see their thing, they were a little too dancey for the rock channels.
Yeah.
And then a little too rockin' for the dancers.
Which is kind of like how this is like my favorite kind of music. Like a little bit too dancey to be rock is kind of my favorite thing.
Dave in New Jersey.
Yeah, Bennington. I was. When are they going to have a Rolling Stones channel on Sirius XM? I mean, that would be perfect. I really am disappointed by the Beatles because they're playing Ringo's stuff when he had a live. When he was a solo artist and stuff like that. I need Rolling Stones channel.
Well, first of all, I couldn't disagree more because I love the amount of star power that the Beatles channel has pulled in.
There's always people who are popping in to do the countdown of their.
Well, they call it My Fab Four, and
they play something from Wings and stuff like that.
Yes, I think that
need more. Really great Beatles stuff.
Dude, it's 24 hours a day. You're going to get all the solo stuff plus all the Beatles stuff. I mean, it's still, even with that much stuff, it's a limited thing. But I love to judge when other people say, all right, I've been asked to pick my favorite Beatles songs, and these are it. And then they'll either give a personal reason or just be like, they'll just give you the top hits of all time. And you're just like, is that how deep you go, Miley Cyrus? I was listening to Miley Cyrus.
Do you remember what her favorite or one of her top picks was?
I can't, but they were probably the top 4 or 5 Beatles songs of all time. But here's what I loved about it. She was so passionate talking about it. She loves the Beatles. Now, I did the AA show yesterday when I went over to talk to Artie and Anthony, and Artie is a Stones guy too. And I put out the guitar players things, and like me, he picked Mick Taylor.
Yeah, that's your pick.
Yeah, over Ronnie Wood and Brian Jones. Even though I believe Brian Jones is way more famous, Ronnie Wood is obviously way more famous. All three of them are great musicians. I just love those albums when Mick Taylor was with him, and the guitar playing is just incendiary. Hey, man, I'm incendiary too. Hey, Vito, what happened to that thing that you promised me and then I had to write back to you today?
I haven't figured out. We could talk about it after the show.
Yeah. Don't make me ask you, though, man. Be the guy who wants to be the guy. You know what I mean? I want you to be the guy who decides to be the guy. But I will tell you guys this, and I've said it to everybody except for Vito separately. Going on another show makes me appreciate this team. I'm not saying that the AA show is disorganized, but I don't know whether you've ever seen a monkey fucking a football. I don't expect the host of the show to be 45 minutes late when the show starts at 4. No, they were great. They were so much fun to hang out with. And then Kevin Brennan jumped in, and he's like this, because I'm talking about the Patrice benefit and, how great it is, right? And then Brennan, who's hilarious, this is no fucking knock on him. He's like, what about David Tell? Why doesn't David Tell get a big painting? It's not right. I mean, Patrice used to open for David Tell, and now Patrice is getting it? Because I don't think Patrice would be anywhere right now if he didn't die. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not in charge of painting this, okay? I'm hosting a show.
Also, Attell is still with us.
And by the way, let me point this out. Attell doing the best work of his life right now.
Yeah.
Right? But yes, you're right. You're not going to just paint a picture of somebody in the prime of their life because you're going to go like this. What is he, your boyfriend? But nothing gets started on that show because everybody's the counterpuncher.
Right.
There's nothing but a team of counterpunchers. Why do we need calendars anyway? Everybody knows what day it is. And then they just keep moving in more mics. But they're having a ball. They're having a great time. And they're all just as healthy as hell right now. There's no doubt about it. Ant is losing his license for 6 months.
What?
For twice being arrested driving 100 miles an hour.
Holy shit.
Oh, no. Not good.
And I brought up to him, I go, I'm coming back from Thanksgiving. I'm doing 80 on the turnpike and have a guy up my ass. I'm like, what more can I possibly give you? Then I'm going, what am I going, 25 miles over the speed limit? But you're acting like somehow I'm dragging down. And then Ann says to me, you could go 20 miles an hour faster. Not in the car I'm driving. This isn't fucking Le Mans. I'm not Steve McQueen. I'm a person like you. But I don't know what it is about comics. They're like whores in a church. You know what I mean? You can't get anything going with them, But we'll be talking more about Patrice. I think we've got a couple more guests coming in this week. Go to Gotham.com for a chance to go to this show, which is next Monday, Chris?
That's next Monday. It's the Lisa Project NYC Comedy Fundraiser to benefit the 2018 Patrice O'Neal Tribute Mural. It's happening next Monday, December 4th at 7 p.m. at Gotham Comedy Club in New York City. GothamComedyClub.com for tickets. Performing on the show, Rich Voss, Bonnie McFarlane, Sal Vulcano, Big J. Okerson, and hosted by Ron Bennington.
Artie and Ant both said they're going to show up and just say hi.
Nice.
I'm not going to promote that. But the guy who put this all together, Wayne, is coming in at some point this week, and he'll be better to explain. Like, obviously, he's going to do a better job than, Rich Voss did yesterday to explain what this means. Because Rich goes like this. I thought it was the gig that we were doing in February. About 4 months ago, Rich says, do you want to do this show with me and Florentine in February? Would you host this show? It's in a theater in Connecticut. I said, sure. Every time I see him, we end up talking about it. And I have to say, sure again. You're definitely going to do it.
The funny thing is, he pitched it to me to talk to you about months ago, and then when I would talk to you, you said, yes, this has already been discussed.
Many times, every time I see him.
He's like, talk to your dad about this gig in February.
Maybe I'll see if JB Smoove will come by. I'll just keep... But like I said, Brennan was doing this. What, a mural like he's Jackie Robinson? Yes, that's what it is. And if when Jackie Robinson was alive, nobody put a mural of him up. Nobody in Brooklyn thought, let's paint a big picture. You know who I did see, and I remember this in the 80s, coming through the tunnel, and this thing must have been, to me it feels like it was 30 stories, so I'm going to say it was 10 stories, right? Of a 19-year-old Doc Gooden, right? Doc Gooden's was... As you came into the city, you just see this giant poster of him. And I remember saying, this kid is fucked. You can't get this at this age and ever get normal.
No.
You're in the Big Apple, and you are the giant poster. They're going to kill this kid with his own success. The best thing to do if there's like a really talented young artist is just be next to him going, oh, it's not your time yet. It's not working. He's like, but I sold all this. Yeah.
No,
keep trying.
You're not that good.
Keep trying as hard as you can. There's no money coming in. You guys are driving me crazy because you keep slipping in and out of that
I know.
production
it's too
chair.
weird.
And then there's only a slight difference. It's like one of those games that you play, like, what's different in this picture? And you have to find that very tiny little thing.
Yeah, it's very disorienting, particularly because I have my back to them. So it's just like I don't even see them get up. I'm just like, wait, what just happened?
My dream is to have my back to them. Where I'm going, did the guys come in today? But again, totally appreciate this team. Totally. Is that it?
It looks like it. Is that? Do you remember it looking like?
It looks like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Look how
huge.
gigantic, and he's 19 at the time. 19 years young, as we say. What I like to say is like the baby is 1 year young.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be 4.
Oh, sweet thing.
I miss my old age. I miss my little age.
Don't want to be 4.
We got anything to talk about before we love movies with Doug? Anything that's on your mind right now?
What about this? Did you see this thing that it's like a glitch in the NFL Matrix? It's up on the iBang. So this is, I guess who's the player who it is? I can't remember.
No, he was on the Bills.
But okay, so he falls down, pops himself back up, and it doesn't make any sense physically. It's Zay Jones.
All right,
Watch this video.
Okay. Because everyone should get up after they fall down. Holy shit.
What is
that? Is that a rewound tape?
That is so strange. That defies gravity. Watch the way he pops up just on his toe. Like, that means all of his weight is being pulled up by his tippy toes.
Well,
so he's falling forward, up on his fingertips and toes. He's able to pop up and smoothly get back on his feet.
Because he hits his tiptoes, but imagine the strength that you have to have in your ankles, because your ankles have to pull up the entire body. Now, do you think that he knows that's extraordinary, or that just the natural way for him to get up?
He definitely doesn't act like he's just done something impressive. He just walks away like, shit, I fell. You know what I mean? He's not acting like he's just done. It's not like he just did a backflip.
No, it's very, very smooth, and it's very graceful, and it's impossible. What he just did, you could probably say, let's take everybody on the planet. How many people can do this? And it would be a tiny percentage.
Like, if you could think right now, if you were laying on the floor and someone said to you, now get up, like, you never in a million years could you push yourself off of your fingertips and tippy toes.
Not even if I had help. Not even if I had somebody under each armpit.
But look, now, here's the thing. He doesn't even, put his elbows down on the ground.
Let me watch again. He's not pushing off his hands.
He's not.
He's pushing off his tiptoes.
His toes. I don't know why, but this video is just very weird to me. It doesn't even look, it does look like it's in Rewind or something.
It's an extraordinary human feat. It's extraordinary. What we are seeing is as graceful as any kind of dance move or gymnastics move. This could be a gymnastics event. Pull yourself up by your toes.
And nobody around him is acting like they just saw something impressive. Like, everybody's just going about their day.
Because you know why? You probably just don't realize it. Well, that dude just turned around and goes, what the fuck are you doing, man?
He's like, so strange.
Look, the cameramen are missing this shot.
Actually, I just realized now that there's a cameraman who's so clumsily falling.
Yeah,
and this is like the difference between two different types of human. This person who just can't even kneel.
Let me tell you, though, when you're on the sidelines like that on a fucking football game and you just have a camera, it's terrifying. What those guys do is fucking terrifying. And every once in a while, one of them just gets wiped out.
Yeah, anytime I see that or like just somebody just bashing into a cheerleader on the sidelines, it looks really scary.
Every once in a while, an old coach will go down or a cop. And that's Tom Arnold just walking by.
Was it?
Yeah. I think it was.
He wasn't on the list for today. I'll check.
Dave, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Ronnie B? Yeah, when I saw that video this morning, and I kind of took a double take, and then I go, wait a minute, did I just see that? And then I played it again. But you realize how freakish these pro players are. Athletes like that are just one in a million, you know. You just find them. And for him just to pop up the way he did, it was like nothing. Just the way he gets up in the morning, I guess.
Aaron Rodgers got 10 screws put in his collarbone, right? 10 screws put in his collarbone. And this was like, I don't know, 7 weeks ago. And the other day, they show him throwing long balls, right? Throwing the ball 40 yards. If any of us got 10 screws in our collarbone, we'd probably take off 6 months from doing radio. We'd be like, I am too hurt and downed out to come in and talk into this. But yes, these guys, and it's one thing to call them like freaks of nature but they also have to work at that as well. And again, it's like watching a ballet dancer and then like have somebody go, oh, that was 7 3/4 of a turn instead of a full 8.
But yeah, it's funny you mention that because it's, even though you realize he's athletic, he's doing it in a graceful way. Like, he doesn't look strong, or he just looks like light.
He makes it look very, very easy. I might want to send that guy an Almost Bennington shirt as a way of saying, Zay, you're at the top and you belong here.
And you buy that shirt on BenningtonShow.com or the iBankShop.com, or you go to the Bennington Show Twitter page where there'll be some links over there.
Now, you've been putting up pictures of the people with the shirt, right?
Yes.
I love that, Vito.
They look great. And you can look great, too, if you buy
I like to see one with you and Jen together, just posing in your shirt.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Because, look, let's face something. If neither one of you has a date for New Year's Eve, and I know HR has asked me not to say this to them, but I want my employees kissing at 12 o'clock on New Year's Eve. Is that going too far? Is that something that I should be able to do in my position? Are they afraid to say no to me? I want kissing at noon, or go out and find someone else to do it with. Because this lonely thing that both of you are doing?
I know. I agree. I mean, Chris Stanley has a girlfriend.
How? How is that?
Nice
and I'm
one.
going to say it.
Pretty and
animal.
nice.
That gross animal. Now, Vito, this might be your thing. Because you and Jen would be adorable together, but you go and shit too much during the show, what you did the other day.
I do have a shitting problem.
We were discussing this yesterday. You left to poop while you're on the air.
I don't know what happened, but lately when it hits me, it just goes from 0 to 100.
Yeah. I know. I sent Chris down yesterday to take a picture of you while you were doing it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Is that a problem?
I don't know. I think that's been an issue for some people.
Way to play the settled gig instead of just sitting here and rolling with it. You had to bring it up. Jen, I don't want you kissing him. I'm going to find you someone good. I want to find you somebody from the world of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Weird Al might be perfect.
Do you like curly hair? I do.
They've announced the 5 people up for the comedy Grammy. These 5 newcomers who have a chance to win the comedy Grammy. And maybe each one of them should get an Almost Bennington shirt. This is it. We'll see which one of these kids can work out for.
One of these youngsters. Scroll down a little bit.
Scroll it down just a little bit.
So he can read. Yeah, right there.
Dave Chappelle, The Age of Spin, and Deep in the Heart of Texas. Jim Gaffigan, Cinco. Jerry Seinfeld, Jerry Before Seinfeld, which I didn't even know was an album. Sarah Silverman, A Speck of Dust. Kevin Hart, What Now?
Nice. So a bunch of unknowns.
Yeah, a bunch of unknowns just taking a run at this thing.
It's always nice to see. Who do you think will get it?
Well, this is an odd thing because I've just said around because all 5 of these are really established people. A couple of these, like I said, I knew were specials, but I didn't. To me, an album is different than a special.
Yeah.
It should be different than the special. And I don't know if all these are just specials. I'd have to check. But not one of these persons has won a Grammy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of shocking.
Well, in the case of like Jerry, I don't think he put out albums in his life. You know what I mean? Like he is old school, like Jay Leno. They were like, why would I sell my act? That's a stupid thing. I'm going to go and do my act and get paid for it. I don't want to just start with a new hour of material.
Right.
Jerry did I think his first special when Seinfeld ended, and he did what he said was all his old material. This special that he did here was his material even before that material. This is his material from when he was in 7th grade. This would be like you releasing some old notebooks from middle school.
Some really good stuff in here.
So 4 of those are Netflix specials, and then Kevin Hart released it as a movie.
Yeah, so how are any of these albums?
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I knew that Sarah Silverman's, Dave Chappelle's, those were the same as their Netflix special.
Like Big J just recorded an album, but he's not doing a visual special with it.
Right.
He's like, this is the album. I don't know. I kind of have a beef with this, and I'm going to talk to the Grammy people. I'm not only going to talk to Grammy, I'm going to talk to Grampy too. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Donald Glover got nominated for 4 Grammys as well.
No, but for music.
Yeah, as Childish Gambino.
Yeah, but we could go through all the people who've been done for music.
Who else
that means
has got
nothing.
Grammys?
See, now you're just trying to annoy me. We were talking straight comedy. And in my opinion, well, I know who I would give it to is Gaffigan. Because I feel like...
He made you laugh again.
Yeah, Jim Gaffigan made me laugh again. But, I mean, all these people are, they're Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I mean, they were all really, really strong specials that I watched. Sarah Silverman's was great. Dave Chappelle's were great.
I mean, it's almost crazy even to say.
I mean, I don't like it.
It's almost
it was good that Dave Chappelle's he's got a little something.
This Kevin Hart kid. Kevin Hart said, everyone knows that you don't jump into the water when you're wearing a backpack. I saw that trailer the other day. What's that? They're doing Jumanji, and it looks nothing like Jumanji. Instead of remember in Jumanji, you weren't in that world.
Yeah.
The world came out.
Yeah.
This looks like we're just staying in the world from the trailer.
Now you're just going to Jumanji.
Well, this could be a great new franchise for you, Rock. This could be your 10th franchise. I heard from a couple people because we said The Rock doesn't look good in suits, and they disagreed.
I stand by it. I stand by any beefy, muscular dude in a suit. It just always kind of looks.
Let's face it,
a little
a
silly.
suit's tough to pull off unless you're completely suit. You're up for a suit. Just think of we see more people in suits probably than anywhere in the United States as we're walking to work.
Yes.
The rarity for me to say, oh, that's a great looking suit. There's a black dude that walks past the stand all the time who's fucking done up. And he looks amazing in a suit. If I'm out smoking, I'll be just looking good, dude. But it goes to show you, because he's dressed to the nines, every time I see him, I recognize him.
Right.
But how many other people walk by that I see all the time, but I never recognize?
And you would never think because they're just in a hoodie.
And this fucking dude looks amazing. He looks amazing. He looks like it's a GQ shoot every day.
A suit is it's a great investment.
I know that I don't know. Because like I say, how many suits do we see here? They never look good. The black suits, the blue suits, the gray suits, we see thousands a day. And they just look like walking dead people.
I'd like to see Vito in a nice seersucker.
What's that?
Seersucker suit?
Well,
It's very lightweight.
it's not this time of the year for you. It
Yeah,
normally
it's a
comes in
summer
a
suit.
light blue, and you could be doing when you're selling Bibles door to door. We're gonna do that before and after picture for you too.
I'm gonna bring the suit in. I want to get it dry cleaned first.
Ladies and gentlemen, we never know what unbelievable comedians are going to call us. It's one of the great of all times. Mitchell Walters. Mitchell. Lag it up.
Hey, I'm stuck in traffic. I have nothing else to do.
Oh, thank you so much, Mitchell. That really means a lot to us.
No,
What track are you driving to?
No, I'm actually going to the post office to send out some medication.
What do you got to bring down Flat's nerves after he was in the fucking hold up the other day?
Yeah, he was in the Stop and Shoppery, yeah. I tuned in. I thought you were talking about Grams before. It was Grammys.
Yes, it was. Yes, you're getting the Graham Award, Lifetime Achievement of the Graham Award.
Yeah. Gail, was that Gail Sunday morning? Gail, you have a show, right? You on the air?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Gail meets girls.
Terrific. I got the Sirius in a new car now. I have no place to live. I'll have a new car. I got a 2018 Sentra, and I'm sleeping on the couch of an ex-girlfriend. So, isn't life funny?
I can't imagine the amount of ex-girlfriends that you have, too, Mitchell.
Well, over the years on the road,
Yeah.
well, I was involved with a lot of toll calls. They were toll calls back then.
Toll calls. I can't call you. It's going to cost me $14.55.
Yeah, no, but Gail, you were brilliant. You were. I couldn't shut it off. That's how good it was.
It's a great show.
I missed my exit. That's how good.
Oh, that's nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you know which one you're playing this week, or haven't decided yet?
I think this week we'll be playing Bridget Everett and Rachel Feinstein.
Love them both.
Yes.
Did you see Bridget's new pilot?
I love it. That's why I wanted to do this one so we could talk a little bit about.
Holy shit, is it great?
It's really, really good.
Bobcat directed that.
Yes, and it's fantastic and so weird and very her, and I love it.
Yeah, we got to get her in again soon to talk about that, because I think you got to vote on that with Amazon, and it's so weird that I don't know if the mainstream will react.
Yeah.
But it's brilliant.
It's really smart and funny and weird.
Yeah.
Ronnie, did you get that? Did Chris show you the joke that I wrote?
No, Chris. Yeah.
Parkinson's joke?
No, I didn't see this.
Yeah, I said, I think Parkinson's is hereditary in my family. I went to my grandfather's house, and over the mantle, instead of photos, they had bobbleheads.
See? He wrote a nice joke. Is Chris in here? Why won't he talk, Vito? Why won't you talk? What the hell's going on?
Just speak to us,
Just
Vito.
answer us, Vito.
I just got back in.
Why won't Vito talk, though?
I don't know.
Chris, why did you keep this Parkinson's joke for me that Mitchell wrote?
I mean, he said to me on Thanksgiving, so I might have gotten just a little caught up in the Thanksgiving. And
You
then
can't get caught up in anything. This stuff has to keep moving like water.
I should have
okay?
forwarded it immediately. I apologize, Mitchell.
Yes.
That should have been the second thing on your list.
Yes. Number 2.
The first should have been the new Disney special. Yeah, the Disney on ISIS.
Disney on ISIS. See, Mitchell's all ready to go. Hey, buddy, I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Yeah, I'll be at the Borgata with Chris Roach and Adam Ferrara Christmas week.
Wow, I love those guys, man.
Definitely. I'll call you before the holiday.
Yeah, give Adam my best, too, when you see him, all right? I love him.
I will, Ronnie. You got it, buddy.
Peace. He's bringing in New Year's Eve at Gotham this year.
Nice.
Truly one of my favorite people in the world. And so goddamn funny.
He's such a sweetheart, and everyone, he's so sweet and charming. Everyone here loves him.
It makes you wonder how much money Mitchell's going to get off of him. I say Mitchell ends up with $2,200. Did you take care of that thing?
No, I did not.
Was the other guy in, the one that I brought up?
No, he was not in. That was someone else. I'm not sure who it was, but it wasn't him.
Okay, thanks. So you're having a bad day, huh, buddy?
I'm having
you know what? Don't you worry about it.
Scrambling morning.
Scrambling Rose, that's what I call you.
Sounds delicious.
Some of those you should just book when it comes through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
You just fake the rest of it. Fake it till you make it. That's my motto. Hey, I think we're going to get the folks behind that Apu thing that I got obsessed with.
Great.
That might be next week. Unmasked next Thursday with JB Smoove. JB has written a book. Do you know the name of the book, Chris? We got that?
It's the Book of Leon, Philosophy of a Fool.
Yeah, Leon is his character. So different from JB Smoove because he's that kind of an actor. The Almost Bennington photos are up. If you take your picture with your Almost Bennington t-shirt, we'll put it up online. It's a lot of fun.
And you can buy that shirt on BenningtonShow.com, the iBangShop.com, or you could go over to the Bennington Show Twitter page and you could buy yourself a shirt or somebody you love.
Perfect Christmas gift this year. If somebody gave me that shirt, I'd go out of my fucking mind. I'd be going crazy. I got to say hi to a friend of mine whose Bears laid down for my Eagles this week, and I just want to thank her for it. Janice, thank you so much.
That was really nice.
It's so great to have an easy week that we could just dance.
Oh, and I love seeing Colton Jeffrey just kicking our ass. We didn't need him.
I know, you didn't need him at all. And he's a goddamn rock star this season.
Holy shit. And then, when we were playing New Orleans, I don't know if you saw it, we had a touchdown. They had the tight end caught right at the goal line, and then they reversed it for some reason.
I saw that. Yeah, they said the ball didn't get over or whatever.
And I know I'm a homer, but really, I mean, when they show it 100 times. And then, did you know he almost lost his leg?
No.
They were going to have to amputate his leg.
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
And that same week, a high school kid did have his leg amputated in the same kind of injury. Holy shit!
Yeah, I mean, we're getting down to the point where no one is letting their kids play football.
Holy shit!
We'll just be watching robots play football the way they were on the Jetsons so many years ago. And that Mr. Spacely, I think everything he said was right. That George Jetson was a lazy son of a bitch, and someone needed to scream at him.
Jetson!
Classic.
And can I also say it was so cute? Oh, first, Thanksgiving was fabulous.
Oh, yeah, it was so much fun.
So much fun. Makes me wish I could fly. But it was so cute. A while back, you asked Jen, is there anybody here that you'd be interested in? She said no so fast. It was so cute. No.
Yeah. She's sure what she doesn't want.
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
And it's right in front of him.
Yes. Don't you know that you're not in love? Don't you realize how much you're not in love?
You didn't have me at hello.
Chris, that was the guy from that did Thanksgiving with us. Princes.
Chris Barron of the Spin Doctors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He just walked by. His album is great. I was listening to it this weekend. It's really great.
We got to figure out something to do with that album, Chris. Maybe we'll do an hour on it at some point or play it because he was so amazing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that album's Angels and One-Armed Jugglers, available on Amazon and iTunes. Chris Barron's new solo album.
It's really, really good.
Phenomenal performer, man. He just lit that room up. I even looked over and saw Hard Rock Johnny dancing. And Johnny has been to 14 million shows. And Johnny's just like this. Two princes kneel before you. Go ahead. We're getting ready to go to break here. I want to just go when we know our guy's in the building. He is?
Yes, he is.
So, do a way of letting us know that. Janice, we're going to be talking with you soon, darling, okay?
I love you all.
Bye, Janice.
I love you,
Bye,
too.
honey. Bye.
Janice, as always, I want to tell you, with Christmas right around the corner, now is the time to order holiday cards for family and friends. Only this year, why not create custom holiday photo cards quickly, easily, and affordably at simplytoimpress.com. Simplytoimpress.com is your holiday photo card headquarters with thousands of unique Christmas cards and other designs to choose from.
All you do is upload your family photos, personalize the text, and you're done. Simply2impress.com prints your cards on your choice of premium cardstock in just a few days and rushes them straight to your door. Maybe that's why year after year, so many people call Simply to Impress their favorite photo card service. They even offer foil cards and hundreds of great holiday cards designs for your business too.
I'm going to place my order today because you get to save 30% and get free shipping. Just enter the promo code radio at checkout. Save big on holiday photo cards using the promo code radio at simplytoimpress.com. That's simplytoimpress.com.
Bennington is back, and we've got Doug Benson in studio with us. Hey! Doug Loves Movies. The 12 Guests of Christmas is happening December 12th and 13th at Largo in Los Angeles. DougLovesMovies.com for tickets.
Doug Loves Movies. It's nice to see a California guy looking so wintry, too.
Right?
Yeah.
This is my my winter stuff.
Yeah.
I got a puffy coat. It's got some gloves and a hat in the pockets. And I just pack that whenever I go somewhere cold.
Did you do any Broadway on this trip?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always see as many Broadway shows as time will allow whenever I visit. And I saw the Amy Schumer joint.
Wow, that's tough to get tickets to.
Or the Steve Martin joint, I should say. No, the second it went on sale, since I do 12 Guests of Christmas, on the Sunday and Monday after Thanksgiving each year, I knew months ago when it went on sale that I'd be in town on this particular weekend, so I just bought tickets immediately.
But this was like the biggest pre-sell of any show. I think Bette Midler might have been up in the, but everyone's always like, oh, why is Amy get gigantic draw, and of course Steve Martin doing this. Now, what did you think of it?
It's really fun. Yeah, it's really funny. She gets huge laughs throughout the show, but so do the other three actors. Like, it's four exceptional comedic actors who all, there's no role that's like has less fun stuff to do. They're all pretty equally matched, and they're all really funny, and I loved it.
Not everybody is a big Broadway person, but Doug is. A lot of people are like, I can't imagine, but they wouldn't be running for a million years if this stuff didn't work.
Yeah.
It's run forever.
It speaks to someone.
Yes, there's someone out there who loves it so. Now, how about this as a movie year for you? What do you think? You enjoy the movies?
I think it's been a terrific year, and these Oscar bait movies that are coming out now, I just see one after the other. They're all terrific. I heard you talking about Three Billboards is amazing. Lady Bird is fantastic.
Super good, yeah.
I really enjoy. Did you see Florida Project?
I haven't seen it yet, but I plan on seeing it.
It is the most delightful setting for a movie. It's the rundown hotels on the street leading into Disney World at Kissimmee.
I know that area
the movie
very, very
takes
well.
place. So it's all purple castles, but not kept up very well.
Yes, these are $29 a night rooms.
Yeah, and these are so people just live there, and they're like all late on the rent, and poor Willem Dafoe has to manage the hotel, and it's I just find that movie endlessly charming, but some people are kind of baffled by it.
Yeah, well, it might be a little too close to the bone for me because I've lived down in that area, and I remember all those places got built because they're like, man, we're going to catch all the Disney traffic.
Yeah.
But no one leaves Disney once they go in. They just stay there.
Right.
And Disney has set it up so they have high-end places and low-end places, and there is no reason to check back out of Disney. So Disney almost doesn't even Florida. Jen, I know you lived down right in Orlando for a while, right?
Yeah, I used to have friends that lived in Kissimmee because I had like community college over there.
Yeah.
I didn't like it that much. The area was a little. It's exactly like how the movie is.
It's great if you're into putt golf.
Yes, and I am.
Because it's just all. It's the same way at Dollywood and wherever that is,
Tennessee.
and a few other places where it's just this amazing miles and miles of stuff that would get the kids to make the parents stop the car.
Right.
Every year, I
It's
go
like,
up,
well, you're going to a massive theme park anyway. Why do you need to stop at this rinky-dink shit?
Every year I go up to Lake George in New York,
Old
and that
school.
is like really old school, kind of touristy putt. Like, there's this weird place called Magic Forest, so it's just like a giant Uncle Sam standing next to a giant Santa Claus.
Those things are
so
great.
kids are just like, we need to go there, but there's like nothing really good in there.
Right. It's always like a giant swing.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
you're in a boat that
So it's like
swings back and forth. And
really-
you're like, yeah, I guess this is good.
A really dangerous, shitty water park that
Yeah.
you're like, it looks like it needs a lot
But that's
of work.
why that movie Vacation was really great, because like that was, people would travel for that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
you know, for years. They were just like, we've got to get there and see this. And it's just not a lot there.
Yeah.
But you're loving, have you got any locks for your Oscar picks this year? Is there anything that you're rooting for?
I think that Sam Rockwell has to
Yeah,
win Best
he's
Supporting
he's
Actor.
amazing, man.
For Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yeah.
That movie's a lock for longest, hardest to remember title.
Yeah. I just call it Three Billboards and I leave it, man. I just leave it there.
But people say, I saw 3 billboards. Like, good for you. I see a lot every day driving. Why are you so special?
Yeah.
But I hope that gives more people the idea to use billboards to get their messages out there.
It is interesting,
You
right?
know?
Yeah.
It's a smart thing that lady did. She got the attention of the whole town.
The whole
and-
town. She stopped everything, man, by putting up a billboard. Putting up a goddamn billboard.
Saoirse Ronan for
Yes.
Lady Bird is
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. Especially, you guys were talking about this earlier. When you look at other things she's done, she's the Meryl Streep
Yeah, it's shocking.
Yes.
of 20-year-olds.
She is so good that I didn't know that she did all those other films that I'd seen. You know what I mean? Like, I just believed in the character.
Yeah, and I was shocked about Grand Budapest. I didn't realize that was her.
I did not know it was
and
her
she's
either.
so different in that.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, so she's good, and of course, Laurie Metcalf in the same movie is incredible. Always been an amazing actress.
Dude, that thing that she did for Louis, where there was that long monologue and I forget the Pete and whatever.
Horace
it was.
and Pete.
Yeah, Horace and Pete.
Everyone's going to forget soon enough.
Yeah. But I mean, she must have had 45 straight minutes.
I
of
know.
Fairly.
And it was just like a shot on her
Yeah.
where she monologued.
Something
and it
that
was
should
just-
be a turn off.
Yeah.
And you just saw it inside her, and you're like, I don't know why this is exciting.
Yeah.
She's great. She's unbelievable.
Yeah, really good actress. I saw her in that Doll's House Part 2 that
Yeah.
she won the Tony for, and it was just incredible.
She might be the Tony Oscar same year person.
Yeah.
I don't even know whether she's won an Emmy or not.
Oh, she had
for
to.
all the years that she did
Right?
Roseanne.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
had to.
She had
that character was like so fantastic too.
Yeah.
So Fallout funny.
Well, the thing that was about it is she was exactly like your aunt.
Yeah,
That whole thing. The aunt that tries to be the nice,
Yeah.
fun aunt and tries to get you out of trouble.
What's going to happen with new Roseanne?
I don't know. I don't.
First of all, didn't crazy things happen at the end of Roseanne that they're just forgetting about
Did-
for new
yeah,
Roseanne?
exactly, it
Like
doesn't
she never
matter.
won the lottery.
Yeah.
She never won the lottery and Dan died.
Yeah, right.
Was the last episode.
and now Dan hasn't died because he was going to come back. Did she ever win the Emmy?
She's won 3 Emmys.
Yeah, there you go.
Right there. Thank you, Chris.
Probably like 3 years in a row. That's
Yeah.
how they do it.
Yeah,
just
they
keep
do.
Giving it.
And then,
Here you go, Jeremy Piven, year after
Yeah.
year.
92, 93, 94.
What's going to happen with Jeremy Piven?
I don't know.
His show didn't get picked up. The let's have an entire crowd try to hunt down people, or in other words, Reddit.
Yeah, he's got the Benjamin Button of hairlines.
Yeah, that's true.
The older he gets, the more hair he has.
It's just it's coming down further.
I always find that interesting because it's always like we all know, but I guess
Yeah, no, he really was a really interesting one. How he was way balder earlier in his career, but just seems fine with everybody knowing exactly what's going on. He still looks better and feels good about himself, I guess.
Yeah,
That's the important thing when you're. But when you're doing whatever he's up to with the ladies,
Yeah.
although didn't he take a polygraph?
I didn't know about that.
I think he took
That's
a polygraph and he passed it.
Yeah, I'm sure he could.
I think it's.
If you
then somebody
believe the
said,
lie.
yeah,
If you
exactly.
believe it.
That's what somebody said. Is that if you don't feel guilty about what you're lying about,
Really?
that you can
if
pass it.
So a sociopath could just
Yeah.
pass the
I'll
polygraph.
just say the President of the United States, I'll bet cash, could pass any polygraph you want.
He'd do all right.
Yeah. He's able to pull it off. Chris, we doing plugs today, or is this the AA show?
No, it's Doug Benson's in studio. Doug Loves Movies. The 12 Guests of Christmas is happening December 12th and 13th at Largo in Los Angeles. Go to DougLovesMovies.com for tickets and on Twitter at Doug Benson.
Now, with Largo, you really got to bring in some heavy hitters, right? People expect it when they go to Largo.
Yeah, but also they also know that many of the better guests that I have on the show are Los Angeles-based comedians and actors. Yeah. So there's some favorites that are on a lot that people will be excited to see. But it generally works out pretty good because it's in L.A. and this time we're doing 2 nights of it. So I got a book.
I like the people,
21 guests.
Yeah, I like the people that feel the full pressure to win. The full pressure to win this thing.
Well, I make it even more intense when there's 2 nights in a row where I just did this in New York and I'm going to do it in LA, where the first night, the top 3 get to come back the next night.
Exciting.
So, yeah. So if the most competitive ones, really dig in and try really hard and get real upset if they don't make it. But the LA shows should be pretty fun.
And what are your chances of being able to win 2 nights in a row?
I don't think it's doable. And here in New York, it was a different victor each night. But I think 2 of the same guys got to the top 3 both nights.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is.
That's exciting.
I tried to invite both of you to participate.
I know.
But apparently Gail's Twitter isn't the way to go.
I missed it. I missed it. I was out of town. I was in full Thanksgiving, like nothing matters.
And that's the way I live every day in my life. That's why I have Chris. When people are like, well, are you on social media? I go, yeah, Chris.
And
He's
then
my social media.
I'm back in town yesterday, and I'm like, shit, look what I missed. I felt terrible.
Yeah, I thought about reaching out to Chris, but I figured he'd be tryptophan sleeping all weekend.
Well, he's in a very romantic place in his life right now. And you basically blew off all your friends, right?
Oh, yeah. No need for them.
Yeah.
I have my lady. That's all I need.
It's just the 2 of you, huh?
Occasionally her roommates. She has like 5 different
Like
roommates.
in a 3-way?
No, there's no group sex happening.
Yeah, but you should try to bring it up, man.
Okay, next time I see her. Like, hey, what about some group sex?
Does she cut your hair?
No,
too bad.
I'm telling you, he's got kind of a rock star look today for some reason.
You never know what you're going to get with his hair. It's always exciting.
Bag.
By the way, I got to tell you, when I did the Artie and Anthony show, so Artie comes in late, and his hair is Artie hair. It's just a nest. So. And I don't know if he had somewhere to go, but he just stands up during the show, and this is a video show, and he goes and finds a hairbrush, and then while he's standing up and still being hilarious, just slowly brushes his hair
On
for like
camera?
25, on camera for like 25 minutes. And I'm like, no one else is mentioning it. I'm going to just let this go. Because at some points, I think he thought he was off camera, but I could see. And it was just this long. And I'm like, what? Why is he now, after all these years, thinking about his hair? It was
mid-show.
When even he doesn't try to be funny, it's unbelievably funny. And people would write to me, I'm worried about Artie. I go, everyone's worried. I don't know what to tell you. Because he actually said to me, he goes, well, Ron, maybe this is the last time I see you. I'm like, I can't carry that around with me, dude.
Oh, God. That's heartbreaking.
He was so late to your Thanksgiving show. That was like, oh no, this is gonna be the worst Thanksgiving show ever.
It was fun.
If it turns out he didn't make it because he's dead.
It was fun for me for all of about 15 seconds, and then I was
then
like,
you start to honestly worry.
And then I'm like going to Jed and Vito just off stage. Where is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the kind of guy that everyone could be white as a ghost when he walks in, scared to death, and he would cruise in like the most casual.
Doesn't care at all.
Like, no.
And like no
worries.
By the way, he wasn't late. He was there. And as everybody walked out on stage, he went in a different direction.
He just went somewhere else.
Chris, who ended up
He probably had to brush his hair.
Yes. Who found him that night?
Connor found him in
And
Times Square.
he was just somewhere walking around Times Square.
Just wandering Times Square. Connor found him from his hat. His hat was very high on his head.
Yes.
And Connor's like, holy shit, there's Artie.
This
Artie,
could be
you
a
gotta come with
great
me.
game show, a reality show every week. But here's the thing, Artie. There's nothing in this new Times Square for you. You know, in the 80s, you could walk around and get what you're looking for.
This ain't the deuce.
Yeah. You are not getting the deuce this
He just
time.
probably thought he was in a time machine movie.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. Where is everybody?
What's going on?
Man, I didn't even know Connor found him.
Yes.
There he is.
But so he was at the gig.
Yes.
Yeah, he was
And then
there.
just
he went.
had to start wandering.
He wandered
Like, put him down and
outside,
watch him go.
And his management was looking for him. There was stuff. Well, even in his own show yesterday, he said he couldn't make it at a certain, like a half hour in. He goes, I can't make it. And everyone said, okay, great, because that's how they are. But they're like, Artie, you do what you need to do. You know, that Anthony doesn't run a tight ship. And then, like 20 minutes later, he just comes bopping through the door, and he's like, "Everybody's tweeting to me, where the fuck are you?" And they're blaming me. They're saying they're going to cancel. So fuck it. His fucking fans just say,
People
"Look,
saying I'm going to cancel my subscription.
If you don't
I'm
show
not
up.
fucking subscribing to this." Well, he,
Host just doesn't show up.
he had
I
told
guess I
me-
didn't really think
yeah.
of it that way.
he had told me before that when he was doing a podcast out of his own kitchen, he was late for it 25 times. He couldn't get from the bedroom to the kitchen. And the funny thing is, he comes in and he's just the funniest guy in the room. And he's just dropping joke after joke.
Yeah.
He's hysterical. The other thing about now, how long has he been a comic? 25 years? His hands are as rough now as the last day that he worked on the docks.
Yeah.
Do you,
know,
just not get that back?
Every time I see him, we always do a handshake, and I always forget. And they're so rough. It's like
Yes.
the roughest hand I have ever touched in my life. It's
He's
like
got the hands of a man who works for a living.
Yeah.
Maybe he just lifts things around the house
Yeah.
just to keep those hands nice and rough.
I don't know.
Some ladies like a rough hand.
Yeah,
I've got the world's softest hands
Oh, that is a soft
because I haven't lifted shit ever.
You've never had a blue collar job in your life?
No, I mean like clerk at a liquor store maybe
Right.
is the most job kind of thing I ever did. And that was, when I was in my teens.
Never a loading dock job, nothing.
Never,
Yeah.
nothing.
And I remember one
No
time.
hard labor
Yeah.
ever.
One day I went in to be a day laborer, and I said at lunchtime, I go, that's it, guys. I'm going to retire. I'm going to let it go. I go, don't even pay me.
I'm going to have to find a ride home.
Yes,
I'm going to be at a deficit for the day just to quit this job.
Everything hurts already.
You don't have to pay me because this was worth the learning experience.
Yes,
Now
I
I
have
know
learned.
I can't do this.
I'd rather-
Thank you for showing me
I'd
that.
rather hold this place up and rob everybody than I would actually work. Now, did you see, as a guy who was in the Blade Runner, did you see the new Blade Runner?
I
this year?
did.
What did you think of
I
it?
did not enjoy it.
See, Gail and Chris were
I
crazy
enjoyed
about
it.
it. I wasn't a fan either.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
And I was not thinking I was going to enjoy it, but I did.
A friend of mine liked it because he didn't know going in that it was 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So he, just after it was over, was like, that felt kind of long, but I liked it. But
Yeah.
it drove me crazy. Like, how do you take Blade Runner is a tight 2 hours?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you take that and go, how can we top that? 45 more minutes of Blade Runner type stuff. Because they did a good job of recreating the world,
They
but to
did,
me
yeah.
they didn't add anything to it other than
Yeah.
making it even kind of more bleak. Because there's some scenes where they're outside, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
It's
very
just
depressing.
It's just like constant sandstorm or whatever it was. But there's obviously there's elements of it that are. I mean, it's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
And that lady robot's pretty.
Mhm. She is.
She is.
And I don't normally say that about Ryan Gosling, but to me, he was like a lady robot. I just enjoy funny Ryan Gosling so much, like in that movie, The Nice Guys.
Love The Nice
That
Guys.
I don't know why he just doesn't do that. I
Yeah.
don't know why he ever plays like a serious robot.
He always is the lonely guy. You know what I mean? Like lone, and you're like, no, there's no reality where he's going to be lonely.
Yeah. I like that he does have a reoccurring thing. He's like, I'm pretty, but I'm deeper than you'd think.
Yeah,
It's
but,
kind of
but
like
you're
his-
not. You're not. You're pretty. But he lives in a world where people are women will say, "Can I get your number?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't happen to men, and yet I'm sure it happens all the time.
Now, I was never, I mean, like, I'm aware that he is attractive, but I've never been one of those girls who was like super gaga about him. And then I saw him here, and someone was doing an interview with him in the
Yes.
fishbowl, and I was like, oh, I get it. Got it. I see what's going on there.
Was that for the nice guys? Was he with the
Yeah, it
other guy?
was, yeah.
Well, yeah, and if you sit next to Russell Crowe, that,
Yes.
that
Maybe
only ups your good-looking status.
People would throw their phones away.
And then,
if
like, I
Russell
was
Crowe-
walking around, like, you know that Ryan Gosling's attractive? And everyone's like, yeah, we know from forever.
Yeah.
Like, for like 10 years now, we've all been talking about it. I'm like, I know, but I just realized.
I mean, he
he's
can
an
get away
attractive
with
fella.
wearing that jacket and drive.
He can.
You know, you got to be pretty good looking or the ugliest man alive to wear that jacket.
I actually thought that jacket looked pretty cool after a
Yeah.
while. Like, he looks cool in that jacket.
You're like, I want that jacket.
Yeah, we can't just put that on anybody.
But yeah, this was like the Drive was such a low rent movie, and the three stars, the girl and then her husband, they're all like unbelievably beautiful people living in this kind of shithole thing.
Yeah.
Where when you see what people look like who actually are in that world,
Right.
there aren't a lot of Ryan Goslings running around in that. Vito is a guy that could always pick out good looking men.
He does, yeah. He has he's an eye for gentlemen.
Well, like Ryan Gosling is a dreamboat. I mean,
he's number one for you.
Yeah, number one for me. I mean,
give me your top three guys.
Top three guys.
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling, Zac Efron, just pure body wise, and number three, Oscar Isaac has a fun thing going on.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac was the other guy in Drive.
Yeah.
He was the bad husband.
Oh my God. Now that's funny because that's like his number 2 spot is body. So that's strange.
Yeah.
And number 3 is just like, I don't know. I think like something fun about
mysterious
it.
looking.
There's
I
something
like that.
about it. Like you're actually thinking about a romantic connection
Yeah,
there.
I want to find out more about him.
He wants to know more about Poe.
Yes. You're
Little
a cuddler.
Poe Dameron.
Yeah. You're a cuddler, Vito.
Yeah, I want somebody that's going to stay up with me after.
No.
After what?
I can't. Here's what it is.
He wants to get inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah, he'll get deep. He'll get 4 inches inside. I get a feeling that if you cuddled with any man, they'd drift right off. You're so nice and big and soft.
I know.
I mean, not only do I have like the fat cuddliness, but then I'm also hairy, so it's like
Yes.
a nice.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I can barely stay awake now just looking at you.
It's like petting a big dog.
Dude, if we get any one of those guys on the show, please promise that you'll say these things to them. To make this-
You're my number 2 spot, mostly because of your body.
Zach, I've been watching you since you were Troy in High School Musical, and I think you've been just grown so much.
He really hasn't, though. No, he's playing the same thing. Nothing's changed.
Went to drama for like a year or two, and then he was like, "I'm just going to go back to comedies."
Okay.
Wait, High School Musical was a comedy?
No, well, yeah, I would say so. Rom-com?
I'm going back to my original stomping grounds where I was
Hilarious comedy.
hilarious in high school. He's turned out to be all right. I think some of the movies he's in aren't so great, but he always gives an effort.
Yeah, I mean, he works. You know, it's a tough enough thing to do to keep making movies. When you see even how rare that is, that they let you keep making movies. You know, because you only have to have one kind of bomb where they're like, no, you're done.
Right.
Sorry, Russell Brand. We all believed in you. But no more movies for you. Do a fun podcast.
What about all my other stuff you like?
Yeah.
Forget it.
They were crazy about him for a while.
Yeah.
And then they did one movie and it didn't pay the way they wanted. And they're like, nope.
Arthur, he does what he pleases.
Yeah. Boom. No, out. Done, Arthur.
Nobody was even mad that he was like replacing Dudley Moore because millennials don't know from Dudley
They
Moore.
don't remember.
They were just mad that he was in a movie that didn't make any sense.
Yeah. We live in a world where no one knows who Dudley Moore is anymore. And he was gigantic star of the 80s. Gigantic.
Was he a sex symbol too, or just like a star?
Well, because he could play piano and he You know what? You can tell like when people like to have sex, and there's certain people will like them.
Right.
You know, like Woody Allen. One woman like there's something sexy about him, and you're just like, yeah, because he's horny. That's why you like him. He's funny and horny.
Yeah, he sort of, he was very popular with his partner Peter Cook and had lots of classic things in England, but what made him burst onto the scene here was the 1-2 punch of Foul Play.
Yes.
Where he has a cameo as a perv that keeps showing up and acting pervy. And then, of course, 10.
10, which is...
10 was just massive.
Still, for me, it's watchable. I don't know what it would be to kids now.
It's a long, weird movie.
It's really weird. I actually
really
didn't see
uncomfortable and pervy.
until like only just a couple years ago. I watched it, and it is pretty weird.
Yeah,
but
and how bad it goes when he finally gets with his dream girl.
Yeah.
It's really upsetting.
Yeah.
It's like really like, oh, why is all this terrible stuff happening to this guy just because he's hot for this lady?
Yeah. I mean, he's following her to Mexico.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend, he saves her boyfriend from drowning. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
But I still love Bo because of that. Still
Yeah.
love her.
Yeah, she's like ridiculous.
She's amazing.
It doesn't even really make sense.
No. She's
And she's still so incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, she still is a gorgeous person. But that's that thing that somebody gets hot for those. Now, in those days, he was able to make 10 other movies that didn't do as well. You know, we had the initial 3. Like you said, they were all massive hits. And then he just gradually, it got worse and worse and worse. But they would give him another one. I'll tell you, they gave Chevy Chase a lot of chances before finally.
They sure did.
You know, like Chevy, I don't know. I don't think there's another vacation in you, as much as we even call it vacation.
You guys didn't dig Vegas?
No, I wasn't a major fan of.
Great.
Yeah,
European one was probably the worst one.
It did not. Yeah. I almost don't even recognize it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll put Vegas before that one as an actual vacation.
They talk about pretty little girls.
At least Vegas is depicted as more pleasant.
Yeah, but the little girl picks up a sausage and was like, I miss my boyfriend. Like, that's, you see a sausage, you're just thinking about cock, this steaming sausage. This is when they're not even attempting to write.
I think Eric Idle's all over that one, and I felt bad for him. Felt bad that he had to do that. I brought a game if you guys want to.
Yes, we always want to play a game.
I play a game. I didn't want the time to run out on us because, I don't know what time it is.
Well, hold on, let Chris plug you first.
Doug Benson's in studio. Doug Loves Movies, the 12 Guests of Christmas, is happening December 12th and 13th at Largo in Los Angeles. Go to DougLovesMovies.com for tickets and on Twitter at Doug Benson.
And this is how big Doug is. He doesn't even have to say who's coming. There's always major, incredible stars and funny, hysterical comedians. He doesn't even need to plug them.
Yeah, and let's say there isn't. We'll still have a good time.
It's still going to be fun.
It's still going to be
I'm
fun.
still going to have to do a show.
Yeah. Here's 12 of you from the audience.
I don't believe in, getting people's hopes up. I don't tell people Artie Lang's going to be somewhere.
Right.
And then,
that's what happened with us.
Then do a show where he doesn't show. And then the whole thing becomes about where the hell's Artie. It's very suspenseful. I'm glad he did show up eventually.
Oh, it would have been better if he died.
Really saved it. That was fun, that newlywed game thing too.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was fun with the all the hosts, the teams, the partners. What'd you call it? Partners.
The partners.
Partners.
All right, you guys. Let's play Ron Bennington's Adjusted for Inflation Bureau game. Chris, you gonna play?
I would love to play.
All right. Always the underdog, so we'll let you go first in the first round.
All right.
And then we'll go to Gail and then Ron.
Okay.
And all you got to do is try to name a movie that's in the top 3 of the actor or actress I'm about to say. And just a hint, some movies take place around Christmas, but aren't Christmas movies.
Okay.
Oh,
shit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God. I'm freaking out.
What?
All right.
Fuck. Okay.
Wait, here comes Artie. Yeah!
He made it. All right. We're going to start with Chris. The films of Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh.
I'm going to say Scarface.
Okay.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, Gail.
I'm going to say Batman, the one that she was in.
What's that called?
Batman, the one that she was in. Okay, so it's either Batman and Batman Forever, and
the problem is,
Robin.
I know the one.
Batman Returns.
Yes, you did it. That's the one she's in.
Forever with Robin.
I think that's probably the winner. Which did you pick, Chris?
I said Scarface.
I remember when Scarface came out. I don't think it was as big as a hit as it became a cult hit after the fact.
Oh, shit.
And that's your problem from being born too late, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to think. I know she did that Harrison Ford movie, and I don't know the exact table. Something is beneath us. It lies. I'm going to say what lies. Chris, you're nodding. You know, so you know what lies beneath
don't
us.
Help him.
What lies?
They're working together.
What lies beneath?
That's your answer?
I guess. I don't know. I wish I had Batman Returns.
Scarface did not even make her top 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was not. It was like a disappointment at the time.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 4, Dangerous Minds.
Oh,
where she
I
starred with
that's
Coolio in that.
Yeah.
Biggest Julio film of all time.
Yeah. So good.
Number 3, these animated ones really get in the way. The Prince of Egypt.
Didn't even know.
Oh, I didn't know that
I had
is
no
a thing.
idea who the voices are in that.
Or that it was a movie.
Yeah, and it's her number 3 of all time. But Michelle Pfeiffer's number 2 is called What Lies Beneath.
Oh, yeah, you did it.
So that's 2 for Ron. And then her number 1 is Batman Returns.
Yeah.
You deserved it, Gail.
Batman Returns.
You deserved it.
Which takes place at Christmas, but is not a Christmas movie.
Now, all these, because the number 1 is always going to be a Christmas film of some kind.
That's what you've decided? I'm not going to clarify.
No.
All right, so Gail gets to go first this round. And this round is the films of Christopher Walken.
Oh.
Okay. Films of Christopher Walken. I'm trying to think of what would be his biggest, but I'm going to say Wedding Crashers. I'm going to put in his top 3.
That's excellent.
I think that's a good
I'm going to just go Batman Returns.
Chris?
I'm going to say King of New York because I remember a Christmas scene in that movie.
No, dude, King of New York is not that was also a very small movie.
That's probably not even in his top 10.
I'm thinking about the adjustment for inflation.
But what's his name? We had the director.
Abel Ferrara.
Abel Ferrara is still sleeping in people's fucking spare rooms. I love him, but he's never had a hit. He was in Pulp Fiction, you know that.
I'm sticking with King of New York.
Okay.
All right.
Give it to me, Doug.
Do it your
Wow.
Do it your way, Chris.
Okay, for Christopher Walken, I just for interest, I wrote down the number 4 because it's one of my favorite movies. Catch Me If You Can.
Okay, yeah.
The little mouse that just keeps on running till it makes cream out of the milk.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
Number 3, Gail hit on it. Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
And I would have thought. I thought that you would have been 1 or 2 with Wedding Crashers.
I thought that was a good guess.
Yeah.
Number 2, Batman Returns.
All right.
Okay. See, I forgot about how sometimes there's returning things.
Yes.
I forget this every time. Sometimes on stage, I forget these things.
And number 1.
Chris has his fingers crossed. What an asshole.
Chris, seriously, that should be your Instagram. This movie has a king in it, but it's a king of the jungle. It's the Jungle Book.
Oh, Jungle Book. I didn't
never
know he was
get that.
in
By the way, isn't
I'm the king of the swingers.
This is so much easier in this room than it is on stage, isn't it?
It's terrifying. When you're up there,
really
you're
is
just like,
tough.
and like the thing was, I was like, just have fun with it. It doesn't even matter. But then it's like it starts to come down the road. You're like, I want to win. I do want to know it.
You always connect with somebody's eyes who can't believe that you. There's always somebody in the audience looking at you like
going, oh my God, what an idiot. Why can't you name 9 Jake Gyllenhaal movies? I thought I could.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I thought I could.
And when you're in the car, you can, but when you're sitting on the stage, so I can't imagine what it's like to do like Jeopardy or something. It's got to be impossible to pull that off.
Yeah,
they're just such incredible nerds.
Yeah,
that they can.
That's true.
They can do it.
We're too Coolsville for that show.
I think I'd be great at Celebrity Jeopardy because the questions are super.
They're
dumb.
easier, right?
Yeah,
way easier.
Who? Somebody. Cheech does very well on Celebrity
Yeah,
Jeopardy.
he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Round 3. Quick score recap.
Okay.
Gail and Ron have 4 each, and
Wow.
Chris Stanley is also here.
Oh my God.
I feel this round's mine. I feel like I'm gonna do well this round.
Yeah, it feels like you have no chance of catching up
Dude, if you're throwing
because
this,
the most you can get is 3 points.
Yeah.
Come on, make
But
double
you
points.
could
this round.
still determine who wins between the other 2 players.
should you leave and go get us
Yeah,
refreshments?
it doesn't really matter. You don't need to stay.
I need this.
You don't need to be here, but you do get to go first.
All right.
This time.
Okay.
Oh no, wait! I'm sorry. You get to go third or second. I'm all confused. Ron starts us off this time. Ron never got to go first. Ron, the films of Michael Keaton.
I'm going to stay with it. I'm going to stay with Batman Returns.
Chris,
Give me Birdman.
full title.
Oh shit. There's Birdman and the Adventure on Broadway. I don't know what the full name of the movie is.
Birdman and his adventures on the Great White Way.
Okay, all right.
Birdman is a nice man that everybody likes.
Wait, he's got to finish it.
All right, I don't know the full name of it, so I'm going The Founder.
Okay.
I think I did well this year.
So he doesn't get 0 points.
That fucking came out on Amazon.
Shit!
That didn't. I don't even know if it was in a theater.
I didn't think of that.
I saw it on a plane as a world premiere.
Founder or the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance?
Birdman, The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
I am going to go Batman. Just Batman.
Straight
Original.
up
First Batman.
I got killed on
Oh,
this.
yeah, you sure did.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 4, Batman Returns. Yeah, I tricked you good.
I got lazy. That's what happened.
Number 3, Minions.
Oh,
Apparently
I never
Michael
see that. I didn't know
Keaton's
that.
the voice of Minions.
Chris, why didn't you say Minions?
Yeah, why didn't you
thought
say
it was
that? It's your
Birdman.
favorite. And then number 2, Toy Story 3.
Did not know he was in
He's
that
the
either.
voice of Ken.
I had no idea.
When Ken shows
Never
up to woo Barbie. And then Michael Keaton's number 1 is, of course, the original Batman, which brings Gail's score to 7, and Ron with 4, and Chris was great at...
Everyone applaud me. I'm the only one applauding for myself.
Chris gets the participation trophy.
Yes, that's nice. Everybody
He's
gets
the only in my shows. The loser's the only one who gets a trophy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, the winners they won.
they
That's
won.
enough.
That's
What more do they
enough
want? They
glory.
get to throw
satisfying.
donuts.
It feels
Yeah.
good. Yeah, they get to throw nuts. Do you want to play the tiebreaker for fun?
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
All right. We'll let Chris go first this time, and Ron will go last because I feel strong about Ron on this one.
Okay.
Chris, the films of Danny DeVito.
All right, give me Twins.
Now, that was a hit, Chris.
It was a hit.
For the
All
first
right.
time today, you have mentioned a hit. Danny DeVito.
I'm going to go Batman Returns on that one.
You know that's mine. You know I've taken that over from you.
You can't have only Batman Returns as all of your answers.
I was going to. That was going to be my nice, easy, lazy day.
She's got Batman Returns. What are you going to go with, Ron?
And you know, Chris has taken Twins, which I do feel was a major hit. So I'm going to think, has Danny DeVito done a cartoon? Because there's been a cartoon sneak in all of these.
And he's a cartoon cat in The Last Action Hero.
Yes, he is. But that was a flop movie. But remember when Danny DeVito came in here, who, by the way, is one of the most charismatic people I've ever met.
That
in my
really
life.
was wild to meet him. He's so cool.
He was promoting a small film, but he had a cartoon film called The Lorax.
Oh, that's
was
right.
out. So I'm going to pick that because there's been a animated film in each thing.
Okay.
And I did not see The Lorax, but I remember, I remember that.
Smart. Thought you'd go a different way with it.
Oh, boy.
Have you guys seen that Andy Kaufman thing on Netflix?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet, but I can't wait to see Danny DeVito trying to act with Jim Carrey pretending to be the guy that Danny DeVito knew very well.
Not to ruin it for you, but it's not pleasant for anyone to be around Jim Carrey at that time. And I'm pretty sure I would have said, Jim, we're trying to fucking work, dude. I know you're a big star.
Yeah, I feel like he really railroaded Milos Forman. Like, I feel like that movie is one of his most uninspired in terms of, like, he got kind of, Milos got into, he did the biopic of Larry Flint.
Yes.
So then, let's do another crazy famous person. But, in the case of Larry Flint, I don't think Woody Harrelson was a a-hole all day on the set.
Right.
I bet you he was a professional.
Yeah.
And you see Milos just in fucking royal pain.
Is he just exhausted
He's
by
like, Andy, can I please talk to Jim? Please, Andy, let me talk to Jim to get back on schedule. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
Jim
my God, that's
fucking
horrible.
well, first of all, Andy was a dick. You know what I mean?
Right, of course.
And then Jim could be a dick, and so now he's like a double dick. He's like a very talented guy playing another talented fucking asshole.
Yeah.
It's painful
He was
to watch.
obsessed with doing it to the point where, to me, it's like then, like, people thought the performance was great, but I found it frustrating to watch because it is just one famous person trying to imitate another famous person. And while he can do like the Latka voice or whatever, I didn't really feel like. And then Danny DeVito's playing his agent instead of Danny DeVito, who was a big part of the actual guy's life.
Where Judd Hirsch plays Judd Hirsch, standing next to Danny DeVito, who's not Danny DeVito.
Yeah, it's very weird. Anyway, I didn't love that movie, as you could probably tell, but I'm looking forward to seeing that documentary.
Everybody on Taxi hated Andy Kaufman, by the way. They fucking hated his guts.
Yeah, because he just show up whenever he felt like it, and wasn't into rehearsing, and
I mean, what is even the part? Like, I mean, not, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you thought of the cute voice first, but everybody could do it.
Yeah,
you know?
teach me the voice and then I'll be that guy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that first time he showed up with Carson and came out, and Carson was falling out of his chair laughing at him.
It was amazing.
It was such a great, funny character.
I remember the first time I saw him, I think it was a Dick Van Dyke special, and it was because Happy Days was gigantic. They said there was a Fonzie look-alike contest or something, and he's like, I am the Fonz. hey. And then he, did that thing, that Jerry Lewis thing where he turns into, and it was Elvis, and it was like incredible. And like the whole country was just in love with this guy for like 6 months.
Yeah. I do an impression of Archie Bunker. Shut up, you meathead.
But if you paid tickets and then you went there and he's just reading a book, you're like, fuck you, dude. Me and my wife were at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
This isn't cheap.
We don't want to. We read The Great Gatsby when we had to. We don't need it read to us now. All right. Danny DeVito. What'd you say, Ron?
I said the Lorax.
Not even in his top 6.
Jesus.
No.
Yeah, but close to it, as I recall.
Jesus.
Might be 7 or 8 or something like that. Number 6 one I thought you guys might remember because it seemed like a big smash at the time, Romancing the Stone.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, giant hit.
Yeah. And then Chris was sort of in the ballpark with Twins came in number 5. 4, Terms of Endearment.
Oh, yeah.
3, cameo in Austin Powers and Goldmember.
Oh, yeah, he was Mini-Me.
Mm-hmm. And then 2, Here it is. Batman Returns.
Yeah.
You're the big winner today.
I know.
Now, but this is just for fun. I will declare a new winner.
Wow.
If anyone can name the number one Danny DeVito movie.
It's really confusing because I was like, why? Even as we were going through it, I mean,
bigger than a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Let me repeat the words. Adjusted for inflation.
Oh, I have it now. It's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That is correct. Ron is our winner. Sorry, Gail.
I think that was the number one movie when it came out of like all time.
Wow.
Like it even beat
that movie
Godfather
was huge.
or whatever.
Yeah,
and
I
then
never
it only
would've
held it for a
thought.
little while because Jaws came out right after.
I'm shocked. I didn't know that it even adjusted for inflation. It would be like that. I
No,
had
it was
no idea.
gigantic.
Yeah, super big movie.
Yeah, and for me, like Nicholson is always the movie star of my lifetime because, like, there in the '70s, it was just like one fucking unbelievable movie after another, and then he just spent the rest of his life being a movie star, just being a cool movie star.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list.
Yeah. See what he did, Chris?
I saw
Tied it all in. That's why Doug loves movies.
Doug loves movies. The 12 Guests of Christmas is happening December 12th and 13th at Largo in Los Angeles. DougLovesMovies.com for tickets. And on Twitter, it's at Doug Benson.
You know what? Doug might love movies. We love Doug. Thank you so much.
Thank
buddy.
you so much.
Always fun. And make sure you go see this show at Largo. Get your tickets now because it's going to move fast. Thanks so much, pal.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bennington is back, and Dave Temple is in studio with us.
Hey, buddy.
Dave's new album, the first one, is available now on iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, and other streaming platforms. And his album release party is happening tonight at Bar 9 after the Comedy John show. thecomedyjohn@gmail.com and at Comedy John on Facebook.
Congratulations for the album, my man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Gail, I would have thought you'd have did better with the word John. You know?
John.
Like-
I thought it was like, at first I thought it was like jam, and then I was like, oh, it's John, like John, that's a John, this is John.
Exactly, that's what it is. Yeah. So we're bringing that Philly flavor to New York. You know what I mean, and just doing a thing. How you guys been?
Cool.
Doing good.
Well, her guy is an Upper Darby guy.
Yeah.
From old school Upper Darby.
Yeah.
So
Philadelphia, just outside of Philadelphia.
Right. Yeah.
So he's a John from way back. But Bar 9, you're doing shows there weekly or monthly or something?
Right now, monthly. This is the first. This is the kickoff. So this will be our first one, and we just doubled it as an album release party to try and make sure that we had like a nice, good turnout, and keep it good going with the venue.
That was an old hangout of mine years ago.
Really?
We used to, Brother Joe used to go there and play music. We used to do it every once in a while. Always had tons of fun.
It looks
at
like a
Bar
fun.
9.
I've gone over there to drink a few times. I've never caught one of the dueling piano shows, but I will now because it's something different.
Yeah.
In the city, I've only seen that in Roger Rabbit. You know that scene where Donald and Daffy are going back and forth on the piano. So.
You know who did that too was Elton John and Billy Joel did the 2-piano tour, and they would just have pianos facing each other.
Yeah.
Could sell out stadiums. Separately, they could sell out arenas, but together, stadiums.
That's crazy.
Two people play piano.
Watch two people play piano. Don't understand it, but it worked for them.
You know what? We were just watching a video yesterday of a girl. She was like on a really tall unicycle, and she's throwing porcelain plates up and balancing them on her head, and she's like. She's doing a halftime show at like college basketball games.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I didn't even know that was a thing. But it's probably something that's like an underworld thing. Like, I mean, you know, like we're nerds about comedy, so we know what's going on there.
Right.
But like, it's starting to get bigger with so many Netflix specials coming out like almost every week. You know, now people understand, oh, this is a job. You could do that. So there's probably this whole underworld of acrobats.
And somebody's going like this. That's the size plate she uses. I use a big basting plate.
Right.
I
She's
use
a
it.
hack.
Yeah, she's using little saucers. I don't go that way. But you ever see plates spinning where they would have a stick and they spin the plate and then you keep spinning and then you have to go back and get it when it wobbles? And that was entertainment at one point. People are like, You want to go out to a big plate spinning show tonight?
Yeah, you would have like a plate spinner on like Ed Sullivan or something, right?
Yeah.
I'd imagine being stoned, I could still be entertained with that, though. You know,
Right.
Just look at it.
Do you have a weird like entertainment form that you love that you like people wouldn't even know about it? Because
It's dark.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark. So there's
Pornhub?
it's the other stuff. It's eFucked. Are you familiar with eFucked?
No.
EFUKT. Sorry to plug them, but it's just it's like the behind the scenes stuff in porn. So it's like the outtakes, the bloopers,
Right.
you know, and it's just like it really shows like, oh, these people are working their ass off.
Right.
And
So
there's
it's
a
not
lot of
sexy.
stuff.
It's just like them
Yeah.
at work.
But it's like, and it's fun to see. Sometimes it's like just borderline offensive.
Yes.
I've made the mistake of trying to show her some stuff to try and
Right.
bring her in my world. I'll never forget, it was a mistake I made. I climbed in bed and I'm like, oh, baby, you got to see this. And they were like, whacking this girl over her head with a piñata. And she immediately sits up in the bed and she goes, well, wait, why do you think that's funny? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I brought you in too deep, right?
Now, can you guys just watch porn together and enjoy it, or solo?
Have we watched porn together?
You've done that type of thing. Just show me stuff.
Show you pieces.
Show the stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Just pieces, but
She sat down like.
yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, I don't think I really need that to you know.
Chris Stanley, you're in a new relationship.
Yes, I am.
And you were a porn aficionado for many years.
Oh God, yes, just nonstop pornography.
Are you done with that now?
I'm not. It's cut down significantly.
Yes,
but I still watch porn. But it used to be just like fucking. I'm on the train. I'll go to like Pornhub or whatever.
On the train?
On the
That's
train.
really
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah. And also like more on the train. I'd go to like Tumblr has like collections of just GIFs. So there's no sound and it doesn't take forever to load. So I'm just watching porn GIFs on my phone.
Whoa.
But you don't want to be aroused on the train, right?
No, but I still like to watch it. I wasn't going to masturbate on the train, no. But I just, it's like
I
maybe
bet
I'll
that'll
save
keep
this-
somebody from asking for change, though, right?
So you're not even doing it to get aroused. You're just like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or I'll save this for later when it's an appropriate place to masturbate.
And this is also a guy who doesn't read a paper. So this is what he was doing. Instead of just reading a paper,
Yeah. Dude,
he's
you know-
just looking at porn.
Years ago, I was on a plane, and a guy next to me goes into his bag and takes out a Hustler, and he starts looking at Hustler
Yeah.
on the plane, and I never felt more trapped
Yeah.
in my life. I'm like, I'm on the inside. I can't get by this guy.
And that's amazing that he owned it. I remember once watching Black Dynamite on a tablet on a flight to LA, and like the sex scenes, I was getting uncomfortable because I didn't want anybody to think like I was watching porn on my tablet. You know what I mean? So that guy to pull out Hustler and just own it.
Yeah,
like,
he was just he was very comfortable with his place in the world.
I also remember being on the train with a guy who pulled out of like a brown bag just like hardcore Japanese hentai. Like it was,
Yes,
there
that's
was
Chris's thing, too.
cartoons,
Like that, too, yeah.
but they were very graphic, and he
Yes.
was just like looking at them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
we could all see
Right,
that these
right.
are tentacles going into a young lady's vagina. Like everyone can see what you're looking
that
at.
tentacle thing, I don't understand. Now, Chris, you said you're done with that. So, like, I mean, roughly years. How long are we talking since you kind of were doing that?
Let's see. I mean, I was single for 2 years in between my last relationship, so that's when I really jacked back up. Like I was just fucking constantly porn. And even the last half of my last relationship, there was a lot of porn. So a good decade of
And
hardcore
as a
pornography.
child too, that's how you were a hentai guy.
Yeah.
And he lived in a little apartment with his mom, one bedroom apartment. So he would be watching porn in front of his mom.
Yeah, and I got caught masturbating by my. What's wrong, Jen?
Jen
What's
is
so
laughing
weird?
because this is HR. Should be able to go to you for this.
No. I got masturbating by my mother, my father, and my grandmother.
Same time?
Wow.
No, multiple different times, but it didn't stop me from climaxing. I told them to just get out.
Now, he's told me this once before, and he said that he just screamed, like, get out, and then he just continued. And I'm like, no child does that.
Yeah.
Like, normally, then the parent has to come in and be like, it's not wrong, and you're,
Yeah.
like, living in shame,
Yeah.
and then you can't get naked for, like, a year. That's normally what children do, but instead he's like, get out, Mom, and he's still going. That's so disgusting.
That's some ownership, man.
Yeah, I get it out.
Really weird.
I never got caught in the act. I remember I'm dating myself, but this is like VCR days, and there was only one VCR in the house, and it was on the big TV in the living room. So you'd have to like kind of, all right, everyone's away. Let me slide down here, and I heard that lock in the door, and I immediately just got up and grabbed and I thought I had stopped the movie. I didn't. So it's just like, literally like my mom just walks in and there's an empty living room, but it's just like, what the hell is this on the TV? What are you doing? All right, you caught me.
You know, in the old
on its own.
In the old tape days, Blockbuster said that if there was a sex scene in any regular movie, it would be worn out first because people would just go back and forth, rewinding it to use that Phoebe Cates moment as their own personal Jack.
Yeah, and you never even wrote it down.
Yeah.
You knew exactly how many minutes into the movie to get to it. I knew my mom was very confused with my interest in Waiting to Exhale. I was constantly watching that movie, and there's a lot of sex in that
movie. Plug away, Chris.
Dave Temple's in studio. Dave's new album, the first one, is available now on iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, and all other streaming platforms. Dave's album release party is happening tonight at Bar 9 in New York City after the Comedy Jean show. Email thecomedyjean@gmail.com or follow at The Comedy Jean on Facebook to reserve seating. It's a free show. Twitter @I'm Dave Temple.
Yeah, man.
No, you love the Philly guys that are coming to New York, right? There's a bunch.
Oh
of them.
yeah. I got all of the Philly guys on the show tonight, man, and I think that's going to be the theme of my show. Is I'm going to book groups of friends.
Oh, I love that.
Because there's a chemistry.
Yes.
When friends are all performing, if this guy does 15 minutes and then his buddy comes up right behind him and does 15 minutes, and there's a certain different energy. So, if I can continue to find guys like us that roll in packs and have that chemistry, I kind of think that that's going to be the theme of my show. You know what I mean?
Because comics are supportive and competitive at the same time. They want you to do well, but they want to do a little bit better.
Yeah.
Than you.
Definitely. Yeah, we all actually, me and all of the Philly guys, we went out to dinner last night. It's what we call like our Friendsgiving. Mm-hmm. So we went to Carmine's out here in Times Square. And it was like it's really become a family thing. I mean, we're arguing and fighting, and people are airing out grievances throughout the year. And at the end of it, we all just kind of hug it out and walk our different ways.
That's hilarious,
dude.
though.
And like literally, the waiter went to take a picture of us, and as we're posing for the picture, you just hear Reggie push Ian Finance. He goes, "Man, get the fuck off me, man!" And then they both smile as the picture snaps, and we all just die laughing because the picture looks like they're happy, but he literally just get the fuck off me.
That's hilarious. Ian to me is hilarious because every time I see him, it looks like I'm watching the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Like if there's anyone more perfect for TV, I don't know who it is.
I know
his stuff is just.
He's got to get scooped up.
I know.
Did you see the Jim and Andy documentary on Netflix?
Yes, I did.
Ian looks like everybody in that movie with the mustaches and the curly hair just hanging off the back, and he's starting to thin out up top. He looked like everybody in the movie.
I know, because he looks like the 70s.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like it. But that's great that all you guys have, had that connection for all this time.
Yeah, man. We came from, we talked about this, I think, the last time that I was here, coming from that circuit. And as I saw people start to sneak away, I realized, like, I'm going to be like these guys who, when I came on the scene, were telling us about how they remember when Kevin Hart this and they remember when Kevin Hart that. And I was like, I don't want to be one of those people still on the scene saying, I remember when this one or that one. Like, I got to get out of here and go where they are.
Yeah. So Kevin was already long gone by the time you came in, right?
We missed each other by a month.
Yeah.
February of 2006, he was gone, and I started comedy in March of 2006.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I saw him, like, my last time ever being a patron at the Laugh House, like, just coming in to watch a show. I saw him hosting, and he was not doing well. So it was, like, funny to see the growth.
Yes. There is something amazing about like when people know you that they're willing to give more, and he's a storyteller,
right?
So if you don't buy into Kevin right away, you're like, I don't know where this is going. Well, but now everyone trusts him, so they let him go. You know,
because there's a general happiness to see him. Like, I think that happens too. Like
madness.
You see, like when somebody already has the love of the audience, like they're going on the first like 10 minutes of just like, I can't believe he's really here and we're in this experience. You know what I mean? So like they're just happy and ready.
Yeah.
And I think most comics that come from like poverty, they're going to be storytellers because it's just people in general. If you're coming from a rough neighborhood, you want everybody to hear your story.
Yeah.
And I'm just noticing that. Like, you ever notice like a guy that's been to jail, he can't wait to tell you everything about his experience in jail because he wants you to know he survived that. And that's where those storytelling comics come from. Like, because I was just talking to another comic last night who he does made up stuff. You know, he'll just... And I was like, how do you come up with that? And he literally thinks of like common sayings, something like, you don't know me from a can of beans.
Yeah.
And then he'll Google that and Google the origin. And he does like all of this research and he comes up with like a 15-second one-liner. And I'm like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
But they don't know anything about you when you walk off the stage. It's just this
Right.
guy had a bunch of quips and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah. So you think you've got to be able to share that moment with them. They've got to connect with you as a person.
Well, for me personally, I also admire other comics that do it the other way because I think filling an hour, 15 seconds at a time,
It's unbelievable.
That's insane. You know what I mean? Like my album,
that's so much material. It's crazy.
Yeah.
My album is 9 tracks. 9 tracks. It was an hour. You know what I mean? It's basically 9 different stories and 9 different experiences. It all flows together. 15 seconds to do an hour. That's 60 jokes you got to write. You know,
Right.
like. And the timing, the wording, everything has to be very precise. At least with a storytelling, you can just kind of go with the flow, you know?
When they said to Stephen Wright, like Stephen Wright did his first album, and they said, this is great. When can we get another one? He's like, I don't know, another 10 years? Because that's how long it took me to write all these one-liners.
Right.
You know? Even years ago, with people that would work that way, like Rodney Dangerfield, he would just buy jokes. You know what I mean? He would buy one-liners, $50, $100, whatever it was. And it still takes a lot of talent to be that guy that they buy into to allow those jokes to roll out.
Right. You have to be a performer.
Yes, you have to be a great performer and a great being able to connect to that audience so they're going to listen to these, basically silly one-liners.
Let me ask you, do you think that's something that's lost today? Like the some people, there's not that many performers. Like a lot of people kind of stand there, hold the mic with 2 hands, and just kind of belt it out.
It's always funny to me to see people come up and lean on the back wall when they get on stage and go, look, I'm not even sure what I want to talk about tonight. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? But then you see Derek Gaines, who comes up as if he's fighting for his life. Every single show. He's smacking his head with the mic. He's running around. And I'm like, there's something. I will always love somebody who's willing to leave it out there. Because it's embarrassing if that doesn't work.
What do you think the reason for that kind of laid back thing
Alt
is?
comedy.
You think that's what it was? Is like trying to play it down like it was regular guy type.
Yeah. And to make fun of people who write jokes. Like they would even start to say, oh, what did you do? Write that at home? I'm talking about today.
I'm just up here riffing, man.
I just went to the bank today and I want to tell everybody how much I hate lines.
But there's talent in riffing.
Yes.
I mean, I did a show with you at New York Comedy Club where you can't do any material. It's comedy on the spot, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I was scared to death. I don't remember whether I had to follow you or there was a buffer behind you. But I mean, you destroyed.
Yeah.
It was scary how well you did up there. You know what I mean? And you're not like a high energy comic, but you got the energy going in that room. You know what I mean? And that was like.
I remember I was watching the person before me destroying, and I'm like, I don't know what the from the Daily Show,
Roy Wood Jr.
Yeah, and I go like this. I'm like, you're gonna fucking put me on after Roy, and everybody in the room was laughing but me, and I was just staring at the booker.
Yeah,
everybody was having the time of their life. I'm just.
But you also went out. I remember you went out and addressed that also.
Yeah.
I got to go up behind Roy Wood Jr. and I can't use any fucking material. And boom, the room lit up.
Yeah.
And then he already had him on his side, and it's just like, holy shit, you know what I mean?
But that's bizarre when when you there's no because Roy was probably thinking, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But everybody acts so calm.
And you
in
never
front of
know when it's
anyone
going to
else.
click, too.
Yeah.
Like, you could step up there and go, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is working. For
And it
whatever reason.
sucks when you have magic that you can't recreate.
Right.
Ever, where you're like, fuck, that was a great set.
Yeah.
What the fuck did I just say?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Like, and then you might remember something and then you try it somewhere else and for some reason it's just not working. And like, I'm a big fan of in the moment jokes.
Yeah.
Because you can never get them again. That's why I like live comedy is still the best shit.
That's unbelievable. Live comedy, there will never be that experience watching it on TV, on a screen anywhere, because the danger is gone. The danger of that moment is you're back from. You can get up, go into the other room and get something. But when you're in a club, I even think that's a daring thing to go out. Let's go out and watch this tonight.
Yeah.
You know?
Or like how exciting it is, like someone's being crowd work like near you and you're like, this
Holy
is like,
shit, yeah.
You're like,
Oh, yeah. People, when the people that have been holding their piss.
Yes.
And then they're like, I can't. And they know. And they're trying to sneak out because they know, like, I'm interrupting a moment right now. And I've been holding it like but that's how captivating that is.
You know,
what I mean?
it's funny you say that. I don't know if I ever talked about this, but when I was a kid, I went on a date with a girl and took her to see Don Rickles. And I'm in theater in the round, and Rickles is going through the entire thing. And I'm laughing like I never had. And this is like a third date with this girl. And then as it's getting closer, I'm like, holy shit. If fucking Rickles starts to destroy me in front of this girl, what am I doing here?
Yeah,
why would I risk my goddamn dating life bringing her to this show? And I don't know whether I laughed until it went around me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until I was
Until you're
missed.
so safe again.
But now I know what people felt like during the AIDS time. You know what I mean? Like it's happening all around me, but somehow I walk through it.
Dude, I don't know whether I hate. I'm sorry if I told a story on here last time I was here because I know Derek was with me. But one of my first times showing up to open mic,
ZZ Top.
I brought a girl with me that I was dating who was very pro-black, very militant, and we were at Helium Comedy Club, which was, to us it was the white circuit. The Laugh House is where the black comics got most of our rec at, but we will always still show up and try to get on. I didn't get on. For some reason, I sat right up front with my girlfriend, and I remember Derek comes out. I don't know Derek at the time. And Derek still got that same energy, even as a young open micer. And he's like, hey, yeah, what's going on? It's different in here tonight. Got two niggas sitting up front, right? And my girl goes, two what? We are not niggas. Like, I mean, she brings Derek's set to a screeching halt. He's only got 3 to 5 minutes on stage, and now he's arguing with my girlfriend, who is standing up. We are not niggas, right? And I'm like, holy shit. You kind of feel that energy with Derek where this is somebody. Yeah. So you kind of want to be like, just let him call you a nigga. And it was like, I remember, it didn't work out with that girl because she was too sensitive for anything that was going on.
It was never going to be able to hang out.
Yeah. But that was my first interaction with Derek Gaines.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was doing 3 to 5 minutes open mic. Yeah, and the girl that I brought that 3 to 5 minutes to a screeching halt within 10 seconds.
That's hilarious. You're right. He's not that different now. Too black, too quick. Is that what happened? Yeah. He just goes up and acts like, this is New York City, Derek. Everybody's familiar with the different races. Nobody is shocked by anything here.
But it's way like the shit that he used to come up with was so different. Yeah. That was also what made him stand out. He's a good-looking kid, and he's different, and he had this ridiculous vocabulary because he was using some words that, like a kid who's wearing his hat sideways, which that was his thing back in the day. Yeah. Always had like an X-Men hat just sideways. He was just a cartoon character. You know what I mean? But I remember he used to do this commercial, this Nike commercial. But if it was like, they used to show these Nike commercials where they would show people training and running. And he was talking about how in the hood, they don't do that with Nikes. And he would commit to running in place for at least 4 minutes. where he's just man in the hood. You got trash cans, dog, run faster, gangbang. For 4 minutes, he's running in place, and this is at open mic. He's not getting paid. He's sweating out his t-shirt. He's sweating out his hat, and he would close it with, "Just do it, y'all." And it was just the weirdest thing where you gotta give it a round of applause. He's like, I don't even know if this shit was funny, but he ran in place for 4 minutes, man. Like, that's my guy, though, man. That's what he does.
Dave Temple's in studio. Dave's new album, the first one, is available now on iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, and all other streaming services. Dave's album release party is happening tonight at Bar 9 in New York City after the Comedy Jean show. Email thecomedyjean@gmail.com or follow at The Comedy Jean on Facebook to reserve seating, on Twitter at I'm Dave Temple.
You're all connected here, serious with your album. They're all ready for you and stuff.
Yeah, man. They took the tracks and sent them up to Laugh USA and Raw Dog and all that stuff. So.
Perfect.
And it was fun. She was going to all the different streaming sites today and just playing them to see it come up. You know what I mean? That's a cool feeling, man. And I did everything on my own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't get a deal or anything. So the publishing, everything is me.
Right.
I booked the club, did the headlining, did 2 shows and waived the fee. So, the club didn't really, he got a shout out. His name is on the back that he helped record it. That's really all he wanted, but I didn't want him to have access to anything. And it felt good. I mean, even booking this media stop, like I don't have a publicist, I did everything on my own.
Right.
So when I get to the level where I do have a publicist, at least I know how their job is supposed to be done. You know
exactly
what I mean?
right.
This is cool, man.
The publicist thing is always interesting to me too, because there's nothing more expensive. Nothing more expensive. Yeah. And then I'll see.
And are they working all the time? Like, do you think when you hear from most people, do you think they're
depends, because a lot of times they're working projects, right? So the new movie or whatever. But you would be shocked how expensive it is. And it's not like they get you on the Tonight Show. You know what I mean?
Right.
They'll be like, there's some comedy blogs that want to talk to you, and there's, you know what I mean? Like stuff that you really
should tweet this, you should wear this, you know what I mean? And that's the other part that's a little bit weird, when they start dressing you.
Well, there was Amy Schumer did that thing on that she went to learn how to smile. Yeah. And then you find out like, oh no, that is true. Like they're telling you you're smiling the wrong way, you're slouching in pictures.
That bit was great too. Johnny Laser playing the smile coach.
Yeah, and yet, like I don't know how much of that was like fiction.
Yeah, those that really exist.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about Kevin Hart. Kevin, I think, would be successful no matter what business he picked. Like if he would have opened up a laundromat, he'd have 200 of them now because he outworks everybody.
Yeah.
There's certain people like that they're just, you could see that it's a constant one. I would say that about Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer definitely outworked everybody around her.
I think once you feel a certain pressure or a certain sense of hopelessness, and you either decide to be the victim or you overcome that. You know what I mean? And once you decide to overcome it, it's things like sleep and stuff, they don't really matter anymore. You know what I mean? So I kind of had my awakening. I had a little stretch where I lost a bit of my freedom for a little while down in Philadelphia County Jail over the summer. So you're talking about 21 hours a day locked down in the cell, and it's just the biggest waste of time.
Yeah.
And it was like the minute that I got out, it was just like, all right, cool. I'm never going back there again. And I got to make sure I do everything possible, you know what I mean, to make this career flourish. Because just like that, it could have been taken away. You know what I mean? And it was like, holy smokes. You go in there and you see all of these people with so much potential, wasted talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's really, my lunches became so much easier once they found out I was a comic. You know what I mean? Like I was just trying to, be quiet and wait to get out of here. And if somebody, I know you from somewhere. Well, I'll see you at. It's like, nah, just leave me alone. No, I know you from somewhere. Nah, I do comedy. That's why. I'll see you. And then all right, relax. And then everybody go to their cell, right? Then you come out later on for lunch, and then they come over. Yo, all right. So listen, I've been thinking about doing comedy, right? Where do I go to get started? I'm not really here anymore. I'm up in New York. Yeah, I get guys in my inbox now that are like they're getting out, and they're like, "Yo, I'm out. Where you at? I'm trying to do comedy." But they're on that same mission. You know what I mean? Where they're like, "I don't want to go back," and they look at me as their key. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm still out here trying to figure it out myself. You know what I mean? I hate to brush those guys off, but I don't know how to bring.
But you always look further ahead to somebody else. Isn't that funny?
And I'm starting to feel that now.
Yeah.
The guys who, like, I either listened to or watched when I was growing, like, as a young comic in Philly, and then when I came to New York and everybody was right here.
Yeah.
So you feel a connection to them, which makes you walk right up to them and just go, "Hey," like, because I know you, but you don't know me,
right?
And you kind of feel like, "Hey, I'm a comic too," and blah blah blah. So we were going to bond and we'd be friends, right? And a lot of people, no one was ever mean, but I'm getting it now where it was like they were just being polite, because I have a lot of people that are starting to come up to me the same way, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you're looking up to me. I'm nobody in this business. You know what I mean?
Who was the guy for you that you're like, this is weird? I'm working on the same bill with this person.
The first time that happened was Michael Blackson. And that was only because 2001, I was in college. My first homecoming, Friday After Next came out. And then like a week later, he was at our school performing. So it was like, holy shit. Then I want to say 2006, I'm doing comedy. And maybe like 4 months into comedy, I'm on the same bill with Michael Blackson. It's like, dude, 5 years ago, you were at my college and I wasn't even thinking about doing comedy. You know what I mean? And I even tell people that when I go to colleges now, and there's always a little student that kind of slides up on you. I'm thinking about doing comedy. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to try my best to remember you, because I know within like a few years, you're going to be right there next to me. And you're like, you came to my college. And I'm like, fuck, I'm sorry, I don't remember you. But because Michael Blackson actually did that. I remember we did a show. There used to be a club out in Long Island called Giggles. You remember that? And there was a show that we were on out there, and I was like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And he would definitely hit me with the, "Hey, it's you!" Like, he had no idea who I was. But now it's just, any lineup at the stand, who you could be with, the fact that someone could have been on late night or their special was out. I mean, at the stand, someone could be on TV and on stage downstairs at the same time, which is just phenomenal.
Pete Lee came directly from the Tonight Show in the same clothes and ended up doing a set and then going upstairs and watching himself on the Tonight Show.
Cute.
And I'm watching with him, and he gets a standing ovation on the
that was
Tonight
wild.
Show. And I'm like,
and the people downstairs, they're not even really aware of how amazing what is happening right now, because they're not that deeply invested in comedy. You know what I mean? They just got an email that said, "Hey, come and check this out. Cheap drinks,"
What's always funny is standing outside every once in a while, you'll just run into a different person's super fan. So somebody just sees Judah and goes crazy, or somebody sees Sal Vulcano because they're a giant fan of his show. And they just see him standing on the street talking with people.
And I think it's cool, too, because when somebody has that kind of career, and then it pulls people into realizing how accessible it can be to go see stand-up. I mean, to me, that's the craziest thing. If you had access to great musicians or actors the way you do, if you're a comedy fan and you could just go see stand-up and then talk to them or hang out with them or be a foot away from them, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And what's insane also about New York is that people are coming to shows on a Monday or Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I'm always wondering, like, who the fuck are these people? You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad you're here. I have an audience, and I mean, that I can do 3-4 shows a night on a Monday is insane, but it's just people.
Mm-hmm.
Who goes to, like, I've never, like I said, prior to doing comedy, I probably have been a patron twice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once I started doing it, I was at the club every weekend, and that was because I wasn't paying to get in. But, like, paying money to see a comedy show on a Tuesday or Wednesday or some of the regulars. Have you seen that in any clubs where you see some people where you're like, oh, these people are here all the time?
Sometimes, but it's amazing if you can say to people, how many people this is your first time at this club. And it seems like it's always 70-80% of the people. Even, even the seller or anything like that, they're just like, yes. My first time here, and you're just like, wow. But there's a lot of people in New York City.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people here.
And some people, are happy to do something like that when they're on a trip to New York, too.
Right,
like you're getting people who are...
I've been with people, and they just, like, they'll be from, like, Tennessee or something, and they'll come in, and it's just like killer. And they're like, this place is so intimate. And all these people just are like, I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This is kind of weird if you're not. Like there's an 80-seat club and you're going to see people that have had specials and albums and done late night TV and they just walk up one after another. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, that was also fun to adjust to, or I guess adjust back to is coming up in the black rooms. It's a big production.
Right.
So before the show starts, there's a DJ, he's spinning, you know what I mean? And sometimes if the DJ's too good and the show is starting too late, it could become a whole party amongst the audience where they're no longer care
they're
to
not
sit
in,
down and listen to anybody. So to come to New York where it's just 6 comics just go up, there's no music, there's not just a few round of applause. And then you go, oh, this is way better because it's about the comic.
Right.
And then you lose that edge where the next time you go into a room where the DJ, all right, we're about to get the show started in 5 minutes. Like, I was in Atlanta in May, right? And this is no disrespect to the club. It was at the Comedy Theater up in Norcross.
Yeah.
And the way they do it, I just had to see it's different. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the club. Thursday night, they throw up like a ton of guest spots, right? Which was okay, but when we're walking in, the vibe is like a strip club. I mean, the music is blaring, and it's like really high energy music. And you can see people are there drinking, and you know, they're kind of jamming in their seats. And they're like, whoa, this is going to be rough. You know what I mean? It's a big club. It's like a 300-seater. You know what I mean? So the host, she's really interactive, very loud, a lot of stuff, but she does like 3 guest spots. And then before getting into the feature and the headliner, she does like this radio gag where she goes, all right, y'all, before we get to the next comic, the manager of the club left, but he forgot to lock up the liquor cabinet. I'm handing out shots, $5 cash right now. Who wants one? And then the song plays, shots, 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 the entire song. And she's running around pouring shots. So they've been drinking for 3 comics and then they're doing shots before the guys who, I got to do a half an hour in front of these motherfuckers. Like, this is, and I knew from day one that was going to be like, oh, this is going to be a long weekend. You know what I mean? Hey.
Well, you have to change your energy when you go to a place like that. You gotta just be like, I'm a club comic now. I'm not. This isn't going to be about my art. I got to survive this thing and be okay.
And that becomes a badge of honor. You know what I mean? Like, because there's no comedy is such a thing that people like. They get the concept and they feel like it can be done anywhere.
Right.
So it literally does get done anywhere. I just did a fundraiser in North Brunswick, New Jersey, in a fire station, but like not like in a banquet hall. Like they pulled the trucks out and in the 3-bay garage, they had tables, they were packed, they were ready to go, they had a spotlight, and it was like, all right. And you have to adjust to that, you know what I mean? And I did phenomenal in there. But that comes from years of going to weird VFW halls, elk lodges, moose lodges, you know what I mean? It's just the weirdest places, man.
And there's no place that you ever said, oh, this can't be done, I'm not walking up there. You just go and do it.
Because you need the money, man.
Yeah.
You needed the money. You know, I was one of those people that I did not, I didn't do this the smart way at all. Like, as far as at least work a job. Like, once I came to New York, I didn't even look for a job. The closest thing I did was like some background work here and there. But like, I really went balls to the wall, you know, and I got to thank her for allowing me to do it because I had a pretty good job and she was pregnant with her second kid. And I was like, I'm going to die at this job. Like, I really felt, I would go to work. Like, I would drop my older daughter off at camp. I would go to the gym, feeling great, drop my older daughter off at camp, get back in the car, and literally my shoulders would, and I would sit there. I couldn't even start the car up to drive to work. I was that miserable, you know what I mean? And I remember calling her going, hey, I need one more shot at this. I need one more shot just to see if I can make a career out of it. If I fail, cool, I'll go get a job and I'll die a slow death in the cubicle, but I just got to give it one more shot. That way, when I am in the cubicle, at least I know I gave it my all. And I think giving it my all went a little bit too far because it was like, even when there were no wheels left, I'm like, nah, I'm good. It's working out.
Yeah. Well, you know, Philly guys always got the Rocky story. That's the Rocky story, man.
Yeah.
You know, take that shot. Chris, let's plug for tonight because this is big.
Dave Temple's in studio. Dave's new album, the first one, is available now on iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, and all other streaming platforms. Dave's album release party is happening tonight at Bar 9 in New York City after the Comedy Jean show. Email thecomedyjean@gmail.com or follow at The Comedy Jean on Facebook to reserve seating. It's a free show on Twitter at I'm Dave Temple.
And a bunch of Philly guys going to be with you. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. So tonight I got Monroe Martin, Derek Gaines, Reggie Conquest, and Chloe Hilliard, who is not a Philly comic, but she's like honorary.
Right.
And that's basically because without her, there would be none of us.
Right.
We ransacked that girl's apartment for years, all right? Like literally piled up everywhere. It'd be like 30 guys sleeping in her apartment. You know what I mean? I'm sure her neighbors was like, what the hell is that woman doing? It's like 5 guys every night going in that apartment with her.
Dude, this is a great show that you're bringing to Bar 9. I mean, these are great comics.
Yeah.
You know?
And we all have that charisma. So the energy that you're going to see between the two comics, I mean, Reggie, one of the funniest guys on and off stage. I mean, this guy is just like the way he thinks. There's nobody does anything like that. We were at dinner last night. He just pulls out his phone. He's got a picture of him eating some woman's ass, but it's just like he made the girl take the picture. Like she's bent over and she takes the picture behind her, and all you see is her cheeks and his eyes over it. And he doesn't say anything. He just pulls the picture up and just slides it next to somebody at the table, and it's just like, who the fuck thinks to do something like that?
She had to be a good egg. She had to be a person who's like, you know what, I'll go with the bit. And Monroe is amazing too. I mean, there's very few people that you'll go up and watch him do completely different sets every time he goes up. And also is another really high energy guy who will go out and sell it. He's just a wild man.
And he's like 6'6".
Yeah, he is.
270 pounds.
Yeah.
He should be mugging people.
Right.
You understand that? Like, because he's not an athletic guy, so sports wasn't going to work out for him. So it was only going to be crime. That's the thing. Like, I need everyone to support Monroe Martin to make sure that man, like, because, man, that, like, he's one of those guys like Shaq. You know what I mean? It's like, if Shaq wasn't doing basketball,
right,
what the fuck else was there for a 7'6" black guy in Newark? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he supposed to take the bus to work and just work at the plant or something? He doesn't fit on a fucking bus.
Shaq was in here and smashed his head against that. But Shaq was also like, he was traveling with comics at the time doing tours, and he goes, you know, I always like to be the funny guy. I like to stand out in the crowd. I'm like, really? You gotta have a personality, Shaq, to stand out in the crowd? Because people would take a picture of you for no apparent reason. You know, even if you never played ball in your life.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they would. He's the kind of guy women just walk up to. He's the one that would answer before they even ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Stare at him at 6'7".
Well, dude, I'm proud of you, and I'm glad this is happening.
Yeah, congratulations.
You deserve
Thank you guys,
it. You're a
man.
very,
Yeah.
very funny man, and congratulations with this now album. I hope it does good. You need anybody to keep bugging people to get spins upstairs, let me know. I'll tell them over and over. Chris, plug one more time.
Dave Temple's been in studio. Dave's new album, the first one, is available now on iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, all the streaming platforms, and Dave's album release party is happening tonight at Bar 9 in New York City after the Comedy Jean show. Email thecomedyjean@gmail.com or follow at The Comedy Jean on Facebook to reserve seating. It's a free show, and on Twitter at I'm Dave Temple.
And I'm telling you, Dave's a funny man, but this whole crew together, this should be a big ticket event, and they're giving it out free for this. So that's amazing, man.
Yeah. So I'll be signing hard copies of the album. If anybody wants an autograph now, get it while it's cheap.
Get it while you can, man.
I don't have the audacity to charge for it. So I just want to have a good time tonight. That's what tonight is all about, man. So.
All right, Chris, we need to plug anything else before we wrap up here?
JB Smoove Unmasked. That's happening next Thursday, December 7th.
That's going to be hilarious. JB Smoove here next Thursday. Go to the iBang.com for tickets. He's written a book in the character of Leon. Let me get the title of it because it's crazy as hell. The Book of Leon is available now. And there he is. He just writes as if Leon wrote a book. Put that money in your pocket. That's easy stuff. All right, that's it for us. Thanks so much. We'll see you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!